6:28. Welcome to Friday, the 10th of March, 2022. This is the Citi Breakfast Show, live on your dial 97.3 FM. My name is Nathan Quao, sitting in for Bernard Avler. Welcome to another wonderful day, and thank you so much for keeping your dials locked on Citi 97.3 FM. Music coming from Daughters of Glorious Jesus. We call this one Wuntabang. That's where we want to be, under the wings of our Father. Grab a seat, let's have breakfast this morning. Get to us on the number 0549 986 996 on Twitter at Citi973, hashtag CitiCBS. And you can also listen to us live on citinewsroom.com. We start off with our business sense brought to us by ADB. ADB is asking if you already have an existing personal loan with them, and they're asking whether or not you've serviced your existing loan for up to 12 months or more. If you answered yes, they've got good news for you. They are giving you a special personal loan top-up to meet your school and hostel fees, rent, mortgage, domestic needs, and more. Now, with the ADB special personal top-up, you enjoy reduced interest rates, extended repayment period, and also maintain your existing monthly repayment amount and more. Call them on 0593 844 898 or 0593 845 845. Or visit any of their branches nationwide. ADB truly agree and more. Our business sense today comes from Donald Rumsfeld, former U.S. politician, former U.S. Secretary of Defense, and a businessman in his heyday. Now he says, don't necessarily avoid sharp edges. Occasionally, they are necessary to leadership. Don't necessarily avoid sharp edges. Occasionally, they are necessary to leadership. So uncomfortable times, sharp edges, the testing periods, don't avoid them, because they will help bring out the leader in you. They will sharpen you, quicken you, and build your resolve and build your resistance. And it will sharpen you for the bigger tasks ahead. That's how leaders are made. Leaders are not made in soft times, in good times. Leaders are made through hard, tough times. The sharp edges, they call it. So don't avoid those sharp edges, because they are occasionally very, very necessary to leadership. That's our business sense for the morning. Brought to us by ADB. ADB truly agree and more. Coming up next is the newspaper review. This is the Citi Breakfast Show. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Same great bang. Because the greatest things are born from the smallest of thoughts. Just as your seeds in a rich soil grow to become trees that bear fruits, the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB, helps you sow, invest, nurture, and grow your personal and business plans by serving you with years of banking ingenuity and experience in agribusiness, corporate and commercial banking, consumer finance, e-banking, and many more through our network branches across the country. Whatever the culture, whatever the dream, we grow with you. Call us today on 0302-210-210 or visit www.agricbank.com. ADB, truly agric and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Ray and Cash do on the beat.
afa. Choni kana boy ba bumbule. Ashwe si mo chishini afa. No kwa mojo ba jilengwe lengwe. Kwa mojo ba jilengwe lengwe. Kwa mojo ba jilengwe lengwe. Kwa mojo ba jilengwe lengwe.
The City Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Ashaiman residents demand justice. Law enforcement to doorstep. Police create 7 new regions. And then the CDD Ghana is suggesting the use of the guarantor system as part of the debate on the new constitutional instrument.
Solid. I back that position. The Ghanaian Times says this morning, former minister jailed over land goes in for 7 days for contempt of court. And the photograph of my good friend Dr. Mustafa Ahmed is here on the front page. Also, migrant constitutes 28.5% of Ghana's population. I think they want to say migrants constitute. So the S should move to the migrant. And then,
migrants
constitute. Yeah, that's right. For some reason, the type editor didn't look at that. Slain soldier laid to rest. And Geological Survey Authority requires $200 million in investment to transmit real-time seismic data or seismic data on earthquake.
Front page of the Republic, Professor Shaiman in shock as anger trails military swoop. Defense Minister calls for respect for soldiers. In the Ashanti region, parents are stranded as vaccine scarcity hits Kumasi. And still in the Ashanti region, pupils escape death as school block collapses at Atrema, Asamai.
Let me take you to the Chronicle. Soldiers beat innocent people in Ashaiman. Parliament admits after meeting with the Defense Ministry. Also, slain soldier laid to rest. Some photographs here. Very, very touching photographs. And then also retaining experienced civil servants beyond retirement age is good for development. Some people have been really critical of this one.
Okay. The front page of the New Crusading Guide. The story we dealt with a while back, but it's made it to the front page of the Crusading Guide. Japanese scientists here to clean Galamsey polluted rivers.
I see.
Yes, we've dealt with the story. And then Jata Cement fraud ring busted. And the NPP is going to host a youth summit in Germany.
Let me take you to the final newspaper. 288,800 apply for U-Start. Full-scale execution targets 1 million jobs in 3 years. Also, there's a story here. Communications Ministry targets to train 5,000 girls in ICT in 2023, and blood donation records sharp decline in 5 years. Why is that? Why are people not donating blood?
Well, finally, from me, Nathan, the front page of ABC News today, they are talking about the ISU West Wagon NDC contest. Fred Nyama feels betrayed by Dumelo. Yes, that's what's happening there.
Politics is about interest, man. They stay for some time. And when they move on, the Ghanaian Observer says President Akufo-Addo touts projects and policies to cushion Ghanaians. Boost for Galamsey fight as Akufo-Addo readies to commission 3 community mining schemes, and UN reform overdue, according to the Minister for Information. Some other stories here, for instance, newborns to get Ghana card numbers from March 31, 2023, according to the Vice President.
That's good.
Okay. All right, if you go online, before that, quickly, the front page of the Herald, I have a digital front page here, and it says, incorruptible, in quotes, incorruptible Akufo-Addo fights his hand-picked Auditor General. Imani Africa, ASEP, demand presidential probe into botched $1.65 billion GNPC acre deal. Looks like this, every now and again, this story pops up. Scratch bears teeth at military high command as Ghana bar GJA CDD keep mute over human rights abuses. And Ibrahim Mohammed's Jata Cement falls victim to fraudsters. Plus, Defense Minister sides with soldiers against brutalized Ashaiman residents. That's the front page of the Herald as I see it. Then front or the opening page of citynewsroom.com says Amnesty International condemns military raid in Ashaiman, calls for expedited probe. And vaccine shortages smack of gross incompetence and poor planning. That's coming from Akando, Kwabena Minteh Akando, MP. The health minister says we've paid UNICEF $6.4 million for supply of childhood vaccines. So when are they arriving? That's the question. Other stories. Aisha Huang built a well after destroying a water body. Prosecution witness. And Aisha Huang's son fined 10,000 cedis and deported. If you go to citybusinessnews.com, Sona full of hopelessness, Importers and Exporters Association. CPA threatens legal action to demand favorable tariffs, and gold for oil policy already bearing fruit. That's according to the president. And government's decision to cut interest rates on T-bills is laudable. Joe Jackson is speaking there. If you go to myjoyonline.com, they have other stories. We were subjected to further beatings at Bema camp, victim of Ashaiman military brutality. And photos, slain soldier in Ashaiman laid to rest. And suspect lynched in bizarre VIP bus theft in Kumasi. And defense minister says military brutalities in Ashaiman regrettable. And if you go international, the BBC says deadly shooting at Hamburg Jehovah's Witness Hall. Reports say at least 6 people have been killed and several have been injured in the attack. Other stories, Silicon Valley Bank slump rocks financial stocks, and Mexican cartel turns in own men over US debts. Interesting stuff coming from there.
No one in any trouble.
Yeah, and Godfrey, this will interest you. Xi begins historic third term as China's president. See.
Let me start from page 30 of the Daily Graphic. Okay, I'll take the vaccine. Sky can take the military.
Okay,
so let me give you the update on the vaccine since you want to know what's happening there. Government pays for vaccines. Delivery expected in 3 weeks. The government has made all the necessary payments to the United Nations Children's Fund, that's UNICEF, for the supply of childhood immunization vaccines that are in short supply in the country, according to the health minister. So the ministry placed the order for the vaccines a week ago with UNICEF, adding that the ministry was currently working with UNICEF to fast-track the process to address the vaccine shortage. Mr. Ajmamenu, who was updating Parliament on the shortage of some routine childhood vaccines in the country yesterday, said, quote, "We are making all necessary efforts to ensure that we secure adequate stocks of childhood vaccines that are short in the country within the next 2 to 3 weeks, all things being equal." It's expected that the vaccines will be supplied in the next 2 to 3 weeks, all things being equal.
I see. So the other bits that we, like you said, we've paid UNICEF $6.4 million for supply of childhood vaccines. So for those who are interested in the numbers, that's what the health minister is saying. That's how much we have, or we are expending to get important vaccines for children in Ghana.
Okay, so let me take you to the Chronicle, and the story that is making the headlines here is from Parliament and then also from the Ashaiman constituency. The first one says soldiers beat innocent people at Ashaiman. Agnes Ansar reporting the details on page 3 of the paper that the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament and the Ministry of Defense have admitted that there were excesses in the military brutalities that took place at Ashaiman. There were excesses in the military brutalities. That doesn't sound right. Now, according to the committee chaired by the Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Japong, innocent people suffered the brute force of the soldiers. Now, there's a direct quote here that says, on behalf of the committee, we want to sympathize with the bereaved, the young soldiers' family, and also sympathize with the affected victims, those who were innocently beaten. They were not part of it, but unfortunately, they got to a scene where they were not supposed to be. I heard some of them were in their various homes, and they came out and beat them. He said, he told the parliamentary press corps at a joint press conference in Parliament yesterday following a meeting between the Defense and Interior Committee and the Ministry of Defense over the invasion and subsequent brutalities. Now, I'm really disappointed that they are saying that you wait until next week, Thursday, to go and visit the constituency. I think that is not showing leadership. The committee must act with dispatch. The idea that you'll be sitting and wait for a whole week, more than a whole week, and before they get there, is completely unacceptable. And to the extent that the government or the army is still keeping these guys, 48 hours have passed since they were picked up. The Constitution requires that you should bring these people before a court of law, right? Yes, and they are still keeping them. It's completely unacceptable. And unfortunately, the President of the Republic is keeping quiet.
Well, talking about that, Amnesty International has said a few things. Now, the group says it is against all forms of violence and human rights abuses and condemns the violence meted out by the military on civilians. The military is to take a step back and allow the Ghana Police Service to conduct thorough investigations into the unfortunate killing of the soldier, end quote. Now, that's coming from a statement put out by Amnesty International. This story is on citynewsroom.com. What I will say, though, is that I find it quite surprising that we've not heard anything from the presidency. The president did not even touch on it in the State of the Nation.
He doesn't seem concerned about
that's
the
quite
matter.
Now, staying with that, if you go to myjoyonline.com, a victim of the episode says that they were still, or he and others were subjected to further beatings at Burma camp. Now, the story says it is imagined that the ordeal suffered by some residents of Ashaiman on Tuesday did not end when they were taken into military custody. On Thursday afternoon, Joy News sources picked up info that some of the over 150 persons screened by the military and later released were subjected to further beating while in custody. The military high command has described the operation as one geared towards apprehending persons who killed a 21-year-old soldier, Sheriff Imoru.
Okay. Let me take you to the Weekend Crusading Guide, where the Ghana Water Company Limited is worried by meter thefts, and management says the theft is predominantly at its Accra West operational areas. Oh, that's my part of town. Expressing concern over the issue, the company in a press release said they had observed with grave concern the alarming rate at which some members of the public are stealing water meters and water connection materials in its operational area. The thievery of water meters takes place predominantly in our Kaswa Nyanyano, Amasaman, and Dansoman operational districts. That's why people stop doing that. Let's stop doing this. So this is what is happening.
But
and
why
they're saying
would
it's
you
really
steal
affecting.
water meter? Is it not designated for a specific place, or you can recalibrate it?
I don't know.
Anyway,
talking about water,
just to remind us quickly, before that, I should have mentioned that the soldier who was unfortunately killed over the weekend has been laid to rest, and the details are on page 2 of the Chronicle, and 2 paragraphs. The soldier who was allegedly murdered in Ashaiman by unknown assailants has been laid to rest in accordance with Islamic rights. Now, it goes on to provide you with some other details. That's
if you go to citynewsroom.com, since we are talking water, Aisha Huang built a well after destroying a water body. Prosecution witness. Sorry, I got my words a little mixed up there. This is on citynewsroom.com. Now, the 7th prosecution witness in the Aisha Huang case, Matthew Kwabla Abochi, has revealed that the accused person's illegal activities polluted the Inchingo stream at Openyi Mensa in Kedbe's village to the extent that she was asked to provide a well for the people. The witness, who is the assemblyman for the Bepotinting electoral area, testified that Aisha Huang constructed the well. Matthew further testified that the activities of Aisha Huang negatively affected the living conditions of indigents. In his witness statement, the assembly member stated that, quote, lands that were mined by the accused were not reclaimed and pits were left uncovered. These lands she mined on were farm lands, end quote.
Okay. Let me take you to another story which is related to the courts. Page 3 of the Ghanaian Times has this story. Former minister jailed over land and goes in for 7 days for contempt of court. Malik Suleimana, reporting for the Ghanaian Times, states that the minister, or the former Minister of Youth and Sports, Dr. Mustafa Ahmed, has been sentenced to 7 days imprisonment by the High Court, the Financial and Economic Crime Division 2, Accra, for contempt of court. Now, on June 12, 2019, the court, in a judgment, granted perpetual injunction restraining the former minister, then the defendant, from trespassing onto a land, but he violated the order. Now, the court also fined him some 12,000 Ghana cedis, or in default, serve 30 days in prison. Now, if paid, the court, presided over by Justice Efia Sewa Asariboche, ordered that 5,000 Ghana cedis out of the fine should be paid to Kofi Amwa Kwafo, the man who initiated a contempt application against Dr. Ahmed, and Chief of Defense Staff and the Director General of Logistics of the Ghana Armed Forces. Now, the contempt motion originated from a land litigation case 6 years ago, in which Dr. Ahmed, a former member of parliament for the Ayawaso North constituency, sold land to Mr. Kwafo in the year 2000 and repossessed it with the excuse of having made a mistake. And you can read further details of the story on page 3 of the newspaper.
Let me take you to page 7 of the Herald newspaper, where conservation NGO Arocha Ghana are not very happy with the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. They're saying that comments that he passed are inconsistent with information that is available to the public. According to the NGO, while answering a specific question in Parliament on February 23 about the state of Ghana's forest reserves, the minister gave a statement that appears inconsistent with available information. According to the NGO, with the extensive damage from galamsey, clear felling and farming in some forest areas yet to be restored, the minister's statement was far-fetched. And this was the minister's statement that the ecological integrity of Ghana's forest reserves has largely been maintained. They then mentioned that forest reserves such as Krokosua, Sui River, Tunnel, Sura Extension, Afau Hills, Upper Wasau, and Shiasu West and East, Supuma Shelter Belt, and a whole lot of others. He also called on the President and Lands Minister to explain the meaning of cordoned off all forest reserves and rid them of illegal mining. According to Arocha Ghana, from their checks on the ground, the Forestry Commission is still struggling on a day-to-day basis to keep out illegal activities from our forest reserves without any new logistical or operational support added to the existing setup. What is different now is the question they are asking.
Okay, so let me take you to a story that is basically stating that for us to get the machine that will give us real-time seismic data on earthquake, we'll need some 200 million US dollars, and that story is on page 13. And it says that the Ghana Geological Survey Authority is in need of 200 million US dollars in investment to establish a national seismic network for enhanced earthquake monitoring. According to Isaac Kuan Nwimbele, Acting Director General of the GGSA, the network would enable the provision of real-time data to ensure the safety of the citizenry. Now, speaking at a workshop in Accra yesterday, he said the network would allow the authority to transmit real-time information on earthquake and other happenings to inform the development of earthquake resilient structures. 200 million US dollars.
Yeah.
Charlie, that's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
But we can find it if we are really serious.
If we are serious and we don't want to fall.
And then also, there's a story I want to bring to your
as we wrap it
attention
up,
quickly. We are told that newborns would get Ghana card numbers from March 31, according to the vice president. Now,
that's good.
Yeah, but you see, I think there has always been a do they also have what they call biometric tampering? That thing, you know.
No, so I think they give them numbers.
The numbers, okay. So you
grow
keep,
up, yes, you keep it.
Oh, I
when
see.
you are of age.
That is a really, really great development. And you can read the details of it on page 9 of the Ghanaian Observer. Congratulations to Margins and then the National Identification Authority.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Godfrey. That was the newspaper review. The City Business News comes up next.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Papa!
Bobo, so how be your engine now?
It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Charlie, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that.
Yes, so
somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
6:58. Coming up next is the City Business News, brought to us by MTN. MTN is saying carrying multiple phones around can be such a chore. The unsightly bulge in your pocket, the extra weight in your purse, the stress of switching from one phone to the other just to answer calls. Now, MTN is saying you can go SIMless with MTN's eSIM and enjoy the convenience of connecting multiple phone numbers to one single phone or device. To check if your device is compatible, simply dial *#06#. Once you receive an EID number, it means your device or phone is compatible. Simply download the MTN app today to request your MTN eSIM and enjoy the sweet, seamless life everywhere you go. The City Business News also brought to us by Goil, and Goil is making things ever so convenient. You can now use mobile money to pay for your fuel purchases whenever you go to a Goil service station. You can use your bank card, your Momo, or your Goil Go card. Just visit Goil's social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more. Goil, good energy. Goil, yeah, DM. Let's get into the City Business News on a Friday morning. Michael Obodu is ready with the latest from the world of business.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Goil and powered by your most comprehensive business news website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Michael Obodu, and let's head straight into our stories as the government is being urged to revive the manufacturing industry in the eastern regions to limit the number of people migrating outside the region to seek greener pastures. Statistics recorded in the 2021 National Population and Housing Census thematic report on migration indicated that there is a surge in the number of people migrating from the central and eastern regions as compared to the last census held in 2010. Speaking at the launch, lead writer of the report, Professor John K. Anafi, attributed the trend to the collapse of manufacturing companies in the regions and called for efforts to address the challenge.
Central region is in the perennial out-migration area. Conditions in many parts of Central region are difficult, so it has been sending people out of the region over a very long period. It is Eastern region which has joined the fray not too long ago. It is only in the last two censuses that Eastern region started posting information showing that people were moving out of the region more than they are moving in. But we know that until very recently, Eastern region hosted a number of industries which were initiated during the Nkrumah period. The March factory in Kade and some other factories, several of them in Salam, all of which have.
That was lead writer on the 2021 Population and Housing Census thematic report on migration, Professor John K. Anefi. Now, the managing director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abena Amwa, has thrown a challenge to female entrepreneurs to explore opportunities on the Ghana Stock Exchange and invest in green and sustainability-linked bonds. She posits that the exponential growth in the green and sustainability bond market points to a shift in what investors consider important. On the back of the recently celebrated International Women's Day, Madame Amwa also disclosed that the GSE is advancing on its moves to ensure that more women participate in the country's capital market.
Last year, we also launched our ESG reporting manual. Our ESG reporting manual, and it starts with the GSE itself, will enable companies inform investors what they are doing to meet and enhance their ESG requirements. And a big part of that is governance. And a big part of governance is the diversity from a gender point and inclusion.
That was the managing director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Abena Amwa. Away from that, the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Agyeman, has indicated that the sector has the potential to revive Ghana's economy from its current woes. According to him, with the needed collaborative efforts, Ghana's tourism sector has the potential to not just raise the needed revenue, but also create several jobs to address the country's unemployment challenge.
I've said it several times that is the lowest hanging fruit, not the low hanging, the lowest hanging fruit that we can have. Because I mean, I visit, I engage with other tourism boards and authorities in the sub-region, and they say, hey, you Ghanaians, you have it too. Why? Because there's no country in the world where you can have historical infrastructure like what we have. The forts, the castles. Forget about the slave trade. It's not just these forts and castles are not just about the slave trade.
Yeah.
The trading that was done there, the Danes, the Portuguese, they all came here. So there's a way that we can bring them back. You have the historical assets. Then you have the natural assets.
Those were excerpts of an interview with the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority. The full clip airs right after this show on the City Business Edition. Now, on the interbank foreign exchange market, where banks trade amongst themselves, the dollar remained unchanged and is selling at 11 cedis 2 pesos. The British pound lost 3 pesos and is selling at 13 cedis 2 pesos. The euro remained unchanged and is selling at 11 cedis 6 pesos. However, at some forex bureaus in the capital, the dollar is selling for 12 cedis 85 pesos and the British pound at 14 cedis 90 pesos and the euro at 13 Ghana cedis. Let's now join Gillian Hammer for part 3 of the topic, 10 tips to teaching your children about money.
Today, we will look at the last 3 tips plus a bonus for teaching your child about money. Number 8 is use pictures and comparisons. For example, one rule of thumb regarding budgeting is that you spend 50% on your needs, 30% on your wants, and 20% into savings or investments. Imagine explaining this concept to your child by baking a cake with them and then cutting it into these portions as you explain. Number 9, offer real-world experience. Often, experience is the best teacher. Helping them learn about the basics like budgeting and investing is important, but having them develop a budget or open an investment account can be an excellent teaching opportunity. Number 10 is reward good financial habits. Consider rewarding your child's demonstration of good money habits in any number of ways, with special privileges, outings, extra praise, or even matching what they have saved. Finally, the bonus point is walk the talk. In many cases, the way you perceive and manage your money has been influenced by your upbringing. Similarly, your child will learn just as much from what you do as what you teach. If you advise your child to avoid buying things they don't need, follow a budget, or pay down debt, do your best to live by your own.
That was Gillian Hammer of Data Bank. And that does it for the breakfast edition of City Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN Quao, empowered by your most comprehensive business news website, citybusinessnews.com. My name is Michael Obudu. Thank you for listening. Have a good business day. And as always, please stay safe.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home. Shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is. Where the passion is. Where the laughter is. And sometimes, even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions.
And send tweets.
Where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
I nearly gave up on driving out of frustration. What hadn't I done? Purging, replacing electrical parts, changing my fuel pump, and still, the engine noise in my car won't stop. Then I met this guy who said I should try Goil Fuel. By the way, my name is Thomas. I did try Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now my car is renewed. Yankonkwa!
Goil stocks only higher grade fuels, further enriched with XP3, multifunctional enhancer, more efficient, eco-friendly, and at no extra cost. Available at every Goil station. Ajibebia. Goil Super XP Ron 95 and Diesel XP. Higher grade fuels, excellent for modern engines and all vehicles. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah,
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
8 after 7. Coming up next is the City Business Edition. Before we get into that, though, La Bianca Company Limited is the leading frozen foods company in Ghana, and they are at it again. Now, they are supporting the local poultry industry, and they are promoting made in Ghana goods. In that regard, they are introducing Akoko Tasty. Akoko Tasty is locally produced, bred, and slaughtered. Akoko Tasty is fresh frozen chicken and comes freshly portioned in chicken breast, thighs, wings, backs, and gizzard. La Bianca is the sole distributor of Akoko Tasty, and you can find La Bianca at the Fishing Harbour Road, Tema Newtown Road, opposite the NIB Bank. Call 0505-431-111 for more inquiries. La Bianca, your #1 frozen foods company. It's the Imperial Insure and Win promo from now till March 31. Insure your vehicle with Imperial General Assurance and win handsome rewards. Yes, it is instant. Just insure and pick your reward for coupons, gift vouchers, special souvenirs, and many more. Here's a big deal. Imperial is also giving you a free 1-year life insurance cover as part of your motor insurance cover. So get it double from Imperial General. Call them today on 0302-788-955 or 0577-667-436, or talk to any of their agents across the country for further details. Follow them on social, and remember, T's and C's apply. Imperial General Assurance, solid protection. Now, grabbing your favorite drink for all your different occasions can be tricky sometimes, but you don't need to stress. Your favorite Coca-Cola has you covered. Are you looking for real ice-cold refreshment to quench your thirst and complement your meals? Then go on and grab your favorite 300 ml Coke Classic plastic bottle, now selling at 5 cedis, or the same size 300 ml Coke Zero, Fanta, and Sprite plastic bottle at 4 cedis to keep the enjoyment going. Can also grab your 1.5 liter Coke Classic plastic bottle, now at 20 cedis, and the same size 1.5 liter Coke Zero, Fanta, and Sprite plastic bottle selling at 18 cedis to share with friends and family. Bring the excitement and fun to all your occasions and enjoy real ice-cold refreshment with all your friends and family. Let's get into the City Business Edition for the morning. Now, this morning, we are speaking to Akwesi Ajima, who's CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, to talk about the potential to revive Ghana's economy, or the potential of tourism to revive Ghana's economy. Remember, here on Citi 97.3 and at Citi TV, this month is Ghana Month, yes. We are saying make it Ghana, be it investment, be it tourism, be it film, make it Ghana. So we are talking to Akwesi Ajima, CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, and we are talking tourism and how it can revive Ghana's economy from its current woes.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Please wait. Please wait. Please wait until I get my new car. Please wait until I find my real size. I'm gonna get me some love so bad. My girl, sweet girl, my girl.
Hello there and welcome to another episode of the City Business Edition here on 97.3 City FM. My name is Michael Obodu, and we're continuing the conversation on the Make It Ghana initiative that we at City FM and City TV are championing as part of promoting Ghana and the patronage of indigenous goods. Last week we brought you an interview with the National Film Authority on their perspective on this agenda. You know, the whole program is on 3 legs. That's film, tourism, and investment. And for today, we are focusing on the tourism part of it, and we are speaking to the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Mr. Akwesi Ajaman. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, Michael.
Awesome. Now, I would ask first off what your take is on the current state of tourism in the country. I know your outfit has been doing a lot in that space, but tell us, what's your general assessment first off?
Thank you, Michael, and thanks for coming. I believe I would say we are rebounding strongly. Rebounding because we all know what COVID did to our sector. I mean, if you had asked me in 2019, I would say we were doing great. But then we had the shocks of 2020, and since then, we've had to rebuild back. And it's been a strong rebound. I mean, if you look at the numbers that we are posting, both domestically and internationally in terms of arrivals, it's good. And so I would say we are rebounding strongly. And also, we are at a point where now the national conversation at least now includes tourism. I mean, we've been on the fringes for far too long. But to have, for example, yesterday at the State of the Nation's address, the president mentioned 5 sectors that could help us rebound. And tourism was one of them. To have that sort of conversation in Parliament, even at the highest level of government, with the president himself, I mean, giving that vote of confidence in the sector, I think is something that we can be proud of. But it's still work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. There's work ahead. There's a lot of stakeholder engagements and approaches that we have to put in place to make sure that the resurgence that we've seen is not just a 9-day wonder.
Interesting. And I must say the sector has shown some very significant proof of resilience, considering how things have bounced back after COVID hit. But in your estimation, how fully back or recovered would you say the industry has from the impact of COVID-19?
I think we're about 90% there, if I should put it that way. Because if you look at international arrivals, in 2019 we had about 1.13, thereabouts. So closer to 1.2. We're doing now about closer to 1 million. So it shows some resilience for us to be able to get back there. But for me, what gladdens my heart is the numbers we are doing with the domestic tourism. Visitors to various tourist sites have grown significantly. And so if you put the two together, I would say we are closer to the 90% mark. But what we need to do is to build not just resilience, but sustenance. Make sure that we're able to have this as part of the national conversations going forward and be able to say that, I mean, every year, these are the numbers that we're going to do. Now it's been driven mostly by a lot of marketing initiatives, a lot of drive with media. I mean, I know Citi FM, we've been partnering with you on your Heritage Caravan and all those things. So it's good, but I believe that there's still work to be done in terms of getting the national psyche around tourism. I mean, you know, tourism thrives on several other sectors that we do not control. Roads, sanitation, even the general economic climate, and so many things that we do not have direct control over. But to have that discussion around the interministerial committee that is in place to say that, okay, these are the issues that are bedeviling the sector. We need to do maybe this number of roads, this particular tourist site is showing promise. How can we fix that road? There's always going to be competition, fixing the tourist site road or Cocoa road or the Agric road. But that conversation is a healthy one, and we are pleased that at least for once, tourism is part of that conversation.
Interesting. Now, I heard someone say that the tourism and the hospitality sectors are the most resilient in the world. Do you buy into that idea?
I don't think so. We are the ones that are, I mean, I don't know whether they're very elastic. Yeah, because what happens is that with the slightest thing, I mean, people can decide if there's insecurity around. I mean, you eat at home, so the restaurants will suffer. People will, if the economic climate is difficult, people will decide that, okay, let me cook at home and bring it to work versus going to a restaurant. If things are not good, if you have your events, they will not come. And so the hotels will be there. So, I mean, if you look at what happened during COVID, where all of a sudden airlines shut down, airports are not working, the hotels suffered massively. A lot of people had to be laid off, people had to be the foreclosures and all those things. But I mean, the only good thing is that it's resilient because we'll bounce back. But the shocks, the immediate shocks, are very sometimes dramatic. If there is something that is happening within a certain community, people decide that this place is dangerous, we will not go there. And that perception will also not augur well for us. So we are always trying to work with national security, with the various security agencies in trying to keep that perception of Ghana as a safe haven within the West African sub-region.
Interesting. Now, you mentioned domestic tourism earlier, and I wanted to find out from you. I know you've been doing a lot to promote that. How is it faring, really?
I mean, we will say the numbers are showing. I mean, once you have some yardstick to measure, you can say, okay, this year we did this. Next year, let's try and push 20% more. If the numbers show that, then it tells you that you are hitting the right spots. I mean, for example, with the Make It Ghana campaign that Citi FM is running, in 2017, we initiated what we call the See Ghana, Eat Ghana, Wear Ghana, Feel Ghana campaign.
Okay.
And that's where we adored a lot of ambassadors, so Nathan Quao and the team, Yvonne Nelson and co, to try and get the people's mindset around eating our own, consuming our own, wearing our own, and all that. And so it's taking some time. But now, as I go across, as I go to offices, as I watch TV and see Parliament, you see that there's a national, more or less, pride in people wearing Ghanaian clothes. I mean, our president has shown it. I mean, most of the times he's wearing this. On the Independence Day, he was wearing something made in Ghana. And so I applaud you for that Make It Ghana campaign, because it ties into what we are doing, and we believe that that's the level of mindset change that we need. It's a level of consciousness that we need to try and drum home the fact that it's our own. Let's consume our own. Let's drink our own. Let's watch our own. Let's do things that will benefit local productivity. And so far it's showing. You go to a lot of the fashion houses, you go to a lot of the boutiques, and you see Ghanaian fabric and Ghanaian attire on display. So we'll say we are doing well in that sense, in terms of raising the awareness of the Ghanaian consciousness and making sure that people believe that we can wear our own, we can wear our clothes, we can eat our food and be healthy and not always clamor for this international brands. We also have our local brand that we need to promote.
Now, you talk about consuming our own, and I'm beginning to see a lot of international representation with the kente cloth. I think yesterday, David Donta was in the trends for featuring an American movie wearing kente cloth, and all the actors, some of the actors in the fabric. How important are these things to the whole promotion of the tourism agenda?
It's symbolic. I mean, and symbolism is also very important. I mean, when we represent, I mean, for example, in 2019, when we had a Congressional Black Caucus come here with Nancy Pelosi, and this, we gave them these kente sashes.
Yeah.
When they went back, I mean, the opportunity came with George Floyd's unfortunate murder, and they went to Capitol Hill wearing these sashes on them and kneeling down. I mean, that's symbolism. It's something that you cannot buy, because it was on all the news outlets. It went global, it went viral, and everybody said, okay, kente cloth, where is it coming from? From Ghana. Okay, where is Ghana? So that starts a conversation. And so seeing people wear it, and now it's become something that anytime we have any of these celebrities come here, when we have any of these ceremonies, that's what we give them. That take your kente sash, go. And if you visit a lot of places, you see them, if they are not wearing it, it's hanging behind their table and all that. And so it's good. It's a symbolism, but it's also trying to draw attention that if we, for example, take the kente industry as one. I mean, if you watch, I've been following a lot of the U.S. Schools during graduation. A lot of them are buying these sashes from Ghana. So class of 2023, and it's all monies that are going into small businesses, either in Boire or in Abuzuma, in the Volta region. So this is good, that people can start making things that will break into the barriers in the international trade arena.
All right. Now, let's go back a bit to the domestic tourism conversation. I have in front of me here visitor statistics on some selected tourist sites for January, and I see a lot of people are visiting the Kakum National Park, Kumasi Zoo, and the likes. What really is driving the traffic there?
I think for Kakum, it's always been like that. Okay. Kakum used to be number one for a very long time. Partly driven by the fact that a lot of visitors come here. The central region has always been on the agenda because of the two major forts, castles, the Cape Coast Castle and the Elmina Castle. So once people go there, if you look at normally, if you tally the numbers between Cape Coast and Elmina, the two combine closer to what you get from Kakum because they'll go to either Cape Coast or Elmina and then decide that, okay, let me have another experience. And the other experience within that enclave will be Kakum, where you can go there, have good food, local food, and also do the canopy walkway. And so Kakum has always been number one. But now we've also seen that a lot of new sites are coming up who are building these canopy walkways. So the numbers may not be the same as it was in previous year, although the number has gone up. I mean, you cannot keep up with that sort of increase. So the zoo has also become an interesting aspect for people because if you take Ashanti region being the center of Ghana, so to speak, where there's a meeting point of trade and other things, people go there and they want something to do. The Kumasi Zoo is very close, within about 2-3 minutes from the KJTR market, which is now a major place. So people go there. We've also seen that there have been improvements in the infrastructure there, and so that's also maybe accounting for that. But it's caught us by surprise actually because we've always been thinking that okay, the traffic is still at Kakum, but now Ebri is also picking up. Kumasi Zoo did wonderful last year, and I believe that this year, with the sort of approach that we've adopted, we're looking at the slave routes project. So there's work that we're doing now at Paga with the Pikoro slave camp, Salaga slave market and all that. So we want to start this whole slave routes project where people can go to Salaga, to Pikoro where the enslaved Africans were kept, and then come all the way down to Asen Praso and Asen Mansu before Cape Coast. So once that's something that we're trying to deliberately promote, but we're happy that Ghanaians have responded to the call for people to visit Ghana. We started this campaign of Experience Ghana, Share Ghana. We saw the pictures that when you go out there, take a picture, post it, you stand a chance of winning something. And the competition ran for a while, and it stopped. We had to stop it because of the lack of resources. But we're happy that at least the seed that we sowed at that time has germinated and it's showing in the numbers.
Okay. Now, the total numbers for residents, that's Ghanaians who visited tourist sites, according to the data, is almost 800,000 as compared to about 140,000 for non-residents. This is like about 5 times the number of external visitors.
Yeah.
So what really would you say is working? And are these numbers normal for following the trend over the past years?
I would say yes, but this one has gone, the domestic level has gone up. So it used to be about 75 to 80% versus 20%.
Okay.
So if you took 20% of this one, this is about just around 10%, 11%. Yeah. So it shows that local people are now visiting more, which is good because, as they say, charity begins at home. And if we can build our own, if we don't need people to come and visit, then why not do it? If people can visit from Accra to Kumasi to Tamale to Cape Coast to Paga and all that, then it will help. But for us to do that, we need other sectors of the economy to also respond. So, for example, the road infrastructure to this site, railway, a few things that are happening that we can leverage on will come in to help. But the numbers are trending forward nicely, upwards nicely for us. And we believe that we can build on it.
Interesting. I see you've made about over 5 million Ghana cedis for the month of January total per the data that you have there. But then that just whets my interest again to find out how critical you think tourism is, especially where we find ourselves now as a country with regards to our economy?
I've said it several times that is the lowest hanging fruit, not the low hanging, the lowest hanging fruit that we can have. Because I mean, I engage with other tourism boards and authorities in the sub-region, and they say, hey, you Ghanaians, you have it too. Why? Because there's no country in the world where you can have historical infrastructure like what we have. The forts, the castles. Forget about the slave trade. It's not just these forts and castles are not just about the slave trade. The trading that was done there, the Danes, the Portuguese, they all came here. So there's a way that we can bring them back. You have the historical assets. Then you have the natural assets, our waterfalls, our parks. And then you go to the specially built facilities like the Kwame Nkrumah Park, the mausoleums, and other things that have been built. And then you have adventure. So if you take the forest and all that, you can't get all of these in one location like we have had it. And on top of that, we are also the center of the world, where access to different markets is, 6 hours you are in most destinations. In Europe, 5, in America, let's say 10, 11 hours. In the rest of Africa, 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours, depending on where you're coming from. Nigeria is a big market for us. They've always been number 2 for us in terms of arrivals. 200 plus million people. So it's something that if we focus on it like we're doing now, and I must thank His Excellency the President for the special interest he's shown in our industry, and also my boss, the Minister of Tourism, for his strong leadership. You can see clearly that if we put emphasis on it and effort into it, we are going to make it, because it's easy. For example, we have out of about the 5,500 accommodation facilities that we've licensed, about 70-80% of it are budget hotels. So somebody has 3-4 bedroom house, 5-bedroom house, you can easily convert that into a guest house. So all of a sudden, a residential property of 10 rooms can become a guest house employing 20 people. Why 20 people? Because you're always going to run a 24-hour operation.
Sure.
So you have your security, catering, and people, we don't have the critical mass that we need for employment. We don't have that critical mass employable areas. So what areas can we look at? If you go to a place like where Rock City is being built, even they haven't completed, they've employed almost 250 people.
Wow.
The last time Sickens was opening up the Tema Alisa, he said what he's noted for, when he says Sickens, everybody thinks paint. But his paint does not employ even a tenth of what his hospitality services employ. So you have Alisa, Northridge, Alisa, Laboni, and now Alisa Tema. And we're hoping that we will have Alisa Kumasi very soon.
Nice.
But it tells you that these things are happening. And we believe that if we focus on it, we try and create some incentive for people to go into the sector. If I walk around Accra, Laboni, or Cantonment, I see restaurants opening up like crazy. So it tells you that there's something that is happening that could really, really help impact the sector positively.
Interesting. So clearly, from what you are saying, the opportunities of expansion and economic impact from the tourism sector is endless.
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about tourism and the role you think it can play in national development.
Okay, so I'll push back a bit into where the opportunities lie.
Okay.
For example, what we're trying to do is to make Ghana the hub for MICE. And by MICE, we meet in meetings, incentives, conferences, and events.
Okay.
Already we started with December in GH. Numbers are showing. So if you look at December, the numbers are coming. Last December, we had about 105,000 people coming. And the number of events that were endorsed, we had 122 events endorsed between November and December and January. And out of it, 113 of these events actually took place. So about 9 events didn't happen. Like, for example, the Wizkid Fair concert that was cancelled at the last minute. So if you have 113 events happening within a market, look at the value chain. So you have hotels, because a lot of these artists will stay in the hotels. A lot of the patrons coming will stay in the hotels. You have food vendors. You have catering for the event itself. So that can also be put in the food vendors. You have transportation. Plus now you have the artist itself. Almost every artist in Ghana, worthy of mention, got performance either the Global Citizens or at Afrochella, Afro Nation, Dirty Rave, Little Havana. I can mention the events and all that. So what we're trying to do is for people to now see where we are going. Okay, so events. What are the opportunities in there? A lot of the people who are doing these events are now importing equipment. We had Afro Nation bringing in equipment from Portugal. We had Global Citizen bringing in equipment from Europe and South Africa and then Nigeria. So for people who are interested in investments, these are areas that you look at, because these events now have come to stay. But they need equipment. They need stage equipment. They need lights. They need sound. They need security equipment. So sanitary equipment and all that. So for me, that's an area that anybody can look at and say, okay, this is where the opportunity lies for me. Then if you can look at the general tourism sector as a whole, we've had a lot of people showing interest in visiting. The numbers are there. You have 900,000 plus people moving around the country visiting tourist sites. But a lot of these tourist sites are still in the very, very basic stage. And so it calls for investment. A lot of the communities are waiting for partnerships. So if you were going to Amajope or you went to Bunsu, for example, we started a partnership with the Achimebuaka Traditional Council. And through that now, you go there, there's horse riding, you have new facilities that have been added on and all that. So that's the level of opportunities that exist. And because these are not huge investments, I mean, you could go into it, I mean, with the little things that you have. I mean, people are building, I mean, if you go to Shebata sector alone, you see a lot of people now coming out with new brands under the cosmetic sector. The fashion industry is also growing. People are coming in, they want to. Now, wearing Ghana is something that, I mean, in the past, when somebody is going for a big meeting, they will have to get their suits. But now people are wearing their kaftans, they are wearing their things and going out, and it's okay. So I think for us, we've more or less created awareness and also shown through numbers that these things can make money. These events that we've had. Now, this year, we are going to start the endorsement process early. And by July, we should publish all the 100 and something events that will happen in the last quarter. Because the people have told us that, look, we need time to plan. If you tell us in September that you're going to have a Afrochella on this date, it might not help us. Give us at least 6 months to plan. So that's what we are going to do to respond to that. So back to the question that you asked. If you look at national economy and everything, if we just focused on tourism as one of the key ones, it touches everything. Sanitation, because we need to keep the environment clean. If you go to our beaches, what are the things that we put in place to make sure that the beaches are clean? Once the beaches are clean, people will go. Once they go, they will spend. And once people spend, production and productivity goes up. It's a very basic economic principle. So we need to get people to spend. When you're having these events, people spend. When you are opening up new restaurants and other things, because there's a new culture that is growing, middle class. If you have a country like Ghana where the population is very young and there's a growing middle class, people are working, they are very busy, they don't have time to go home and cook. So the culture of eating out is beginning to take place. I feel like I go around, I go to the places and I see the 7 o'clock, you see a lot of people there eating. Why? In the past, the wife probably will be home cooking for the husband or vice versa. But now they decide, let's go have a meal out with our kids and other things. So that culture is building. The culture of events. We've also working with other associations to try and bring in meetings, big conferences. I mean, for example, with the All Africa Games coming, we're working with the LOC to see where are the hotels, where are the athletes going to stay, the people who want to come and watch, where are they going to stay. So there's always that opportunity that exists. And for me, I believe that if you look at what has happened over the last few years in terms of the rallying cry that we've had, especially with the year of return, beyond the return, and the number of diasporas who are coming in, it's a classic case that we can look at and say, okay, tourism has that potential because we've shown it in the numbers in 2019 and in the rebound numbers in 2022 that these numbers can be made. And once we are pushing these numbers out, I mean, it's not just people coming in, even the amount of money spent per visitor is also going up. Averagely, people are spending 2,700 now per visit. So where that 2,700 go, is going to the taxi driver's pocket, the Uber drivers are getting, the watch seller, the art center people, everybody is getting a piece. And we are also in a position where Ghana is noted for its arts. So if you take the arts and craft market, a lot of people are clamoring for Ghanaian art. They go out there, oh, can I get any of these art pieces? But it's something that we need to try and professionalize a bit. I mean, if you go to the art center, we've been engaging them. I mean, point of sale machines are not even there. So we know that people are also not traveling with cash these days. So people will come here, maybe you'll change $100, they'll go there. They'll buy just $100 worth of goods. But if there was a point of sale device there for them, and that's what we've been engaged. We work with Visa and the art center community. That look, let's create all these points of sale for you guys, so that people come, they see these things, they have credit on their cards, they will buy these things. So there's opportunity, and I'm happy that in the State of the Nation address, the president gave us a charge that in May he wants to see everybody around the table for us to talk tourism. He said rethinking tourism for job creation and national development. The work has been cut out for us. It's for us to now bring all the sectors, the tour guides, the tour operators, the restaurant owners, the car rentals, the hoteliers, everybody around the table, that how do we move? They complain about multiplicity of taxes, that the climate is a bit too difficult, and that's why they have to increase their prices. We have that honest conversation with the first gentleman of the land and see what it will take us, because this will be really the first time that you're having at that level this kind of stakeholder engagement. And for him to have put it on the calendar for us in May, we thank him. But I believe that we are very confident that 2023 the numbers will blow our minds, because 2022, we looked at the first quarter, it started very slow. But this year has not started slow at all. We've seen numbers coming in. I mean, as we speak, we are with different groups. I get calls from Cape Coast, from Elmina, from the northern part of the country, from that people are here. They always, you get that feedback that people are in town. And so for us, we also engaging with the airlines board to see where that can take us, because in December we know a lot of people want to come, but we don't have enough airlines. We're hoping that the talk of the Ghana airlines that is coming will materialize, because if you have a national carrier, even if it's a privately held one, it will really, really help, because when there are off seasons, when there are peak seasons, we can work with them to see where the numbers are coming from. We can tell them what is to expect, what they should expect. So I think we are getting there.
All right. My final two questions. I'll turn the first one into a 1-minute pitch and say to every potential investor out there, convince them on why they should put their money in the tourism industry. And then the second one would be to every Ghanaian, every person in Ghana listening to you, why should we actively get involved in domestic tourism?
All right, so I'll start with why we should get involved in domestic tourism. It's our own. It's our way of life. I mean, Ghanaians are noted for wanting to see things. I mean, wanting to see our country. Ghana is the only country we have. And so by just going around, I mean, whether it's to a friend's party or to even a funeral, you are putting money in the economy. You go there with transportation, whether you go with STC or OA or VIP, that's money coming into the economy. You go there, you stay in a hotel, or you do a homestay, you buy food. That's money for the farmer. As you go there, you wear clothes, hopefully it's Ghanaian clothes. That's money for a fashion designer, a tailor, a dressmaker. So for us to get to the level that we want to go as a country, I believe we need to start consuming our own. And the easiest thing to consume of our own are the things within the tourism and hospitality sector: food, accommodation, transportation. These are things that, if you're going to, although we don't have a lot of made in Ghana cars, they are turned by government to now bring in assembly points here where you can have the Kantankers, the VWs are now being done here. It will get to a point where even the transportation services will all be Ghanaian. And so for me, I think domestic tourism, there's a lot to be seen. We have a lot of attractions, a lot of good service, good delivery, a lot of places to visit. And if you do, in addition to your own personal happiness and enjoyment, you are also helping create an economy that we can all be proud of. For investors, the returns on investment in the sector is quite huge. And it doesn't take much. I know that we have an FDI law that says people have to bring in about $500,000 to be classified as a foreign direct investment into the country. For Ghanaian investors, you don't need that much. A 50,000 can get you into the sector, even 10,000. I know people who have started fashion business with 5,000, 2,000. Start something. This is a sector that is growing, is booming. We will bring in the numbers. International arrivals will come up, but when they come, they want to get kente ties. They want to get how much do you need to be doing these beads that I'm wearing? One is 30 cedis. So if you did 20 a day, that's how much, 600 cedis. So let's start thinking of how we can create our own. And I believe that calls for that level of investment thinking. People need to think of, I'm an investor, not because I have 1 million cedis or 100,000 cedis. I'm an investor because with my 1,000 cedis or 500 cedis, I've started a plantain chips business that I've packaged well, that people are buying and sending it out. I've packaged the plantain chips business, or I'm a food joint, street food that I'm selling, that people who are coming to Ghana wanting a decent place to eat and doing. So it's a low-hanging fruit in terms of investment. If you compare it to, let's say, a factory, and I always use that as an example. If you take a factory, it's 8 to 5. Tourism is 24/7. So weekends, the factories may close, but tourism, that's when we are booming. And because we have to operate a 24-hour operation, if we have to employ, for each position, we are doing 3 people, 8 hour, 8 hour, 8 hour. So that is something that, for policymakers, everybody, let's all think Ghana, make it Ghana, and believe that we can showcase the opportunities that exist and also make sure that Ghana is really at the right place. Currently, the numbers are looking good, and I believe that together we can make it even better.
Together, we indeed can make it even better. Thank you so much for your time, sir. That was the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Akwesi Agyemang, there, talking to us about how critical tourism is to make it Ghana as part of the initiative that we here at Citi FM and Citi TV are championing. Thank you for tuning in. Let's connect on Twitter at @mobodu. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you again. As always, stay safe, stay informed, and bye-bye.
I'm gonna get me some love so bad. My girl, sweet girl, my girl. I can see all your joy. I can see.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
See you later, Aisha, dear, Elam is here.
Sure you don't want some of this?
Are you trying to make me late again?
Oh, come on. Have a little taste.
Okay, just a bite. This is amazing.
Right?
Kobe, now you will make late way day here. Charlie, wait, oh. Is that the new Indomie beef I smell?
Would you like...
Oh, yes, please. Charlie, I told you.
Your favorite great tasting Indomie is now available in the new delicious beef flavor. So, whatever the moment, beef it up with the new Indomie beef. Indomie tastes great. This advert is FDA approved.
Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key. But there's one key that rules them all. The house key. The key to a place we call home. The key to the home where everything comes together. The key to a home that is our own. A home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 030-2789-757.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 160-gram Lily Light Tuna Meat, only 17 cedis, 99 pesos worth, and 125-gram can Abina Sardine in vegetable oil, just 8 cedis, 99 pesos worth. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 12th March, only at ShopRite.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xBet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
It's creamy, creamy plus, delicious milk, creamy plus for you.
Creamy Plus is a delightfully delicious option whenever and wherever the occasion calls for milk. For your quick meals on the go or quality time at the dining table, jazz up your favorite Gary soakings, mashed kinky, cereals, and all hot and cold beverages with a creamy, protein-rich, healthy option of milk. Creamy Plus evaporated milk with vegetable fat is all you need to stay on the go. Creamy Plus evaporated milk is now available in a shop near you.
For bulk purchases, please contact Les Farm Distributors at Medina Ritz Junction on 0501 682 522, or Grace has found us at Akoko Photo Dansoman on 0245 162 747.
Creamy Plus for you.
Creamy Plus evaporated milk.
This message has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
Benjamin Nketia here with the Friday edition of Kickoff. In the headlines, Black Stars head coach Chris Hughton names 25-man squad for upcoming AFCON qualifiers against Angola. Match day 27 in the EPL, Leicester versus Chelsea, the top lineup for the weekend. And in the NBA, there were wins for the Pacers, the Grizzlies, and the Kings. And let's get into news from the Black Stars and head coach Chris Hughton. He will be unveiled in Kumasi on Monday, March 20, as part of the build-up to the match against Angola. Now, the former Brighton and Hove and Newcastle manager will be presented to the media to share his vision, ideology, and expectations with the public. The first engagement between Hughton and the media will be a platform for the Football Association to also make public the target's terms of engagement and other relevant information pertaining to the manager's work. Now, according to the GFA, the time and venue will be officially communicated in the coming days. Now, GFA General Secretary Prosper Harrison-Ado has been speaking to City Sports on what caused the delay in unveiling Houghton as head coach earlier.
We had planned for him to come so that we'll do the unveiling and then some details will go out in that process. But unfortunately, lost his dad. And then so even though he's in the UK and he's working at, in terms of preparation for the match, he would come down and then we'll get to go through all that. And then the details that needs to be out will be out.
Is there any details you can give us in the meantime as we are waiting to kind of cool our hearts and kind of cool our names?
The detail I can give is that it's working. And, we have timelines as to when squad list is released and when letters go to clubs and things like that. So all that is being done. And the assurance is that more information will come. But for now, I have that trust and belief that our coach is working.
Now, Prosper Harrison-Ado also outlined ongoing preparations to get the Black Stars ready for the Angola tie. Now, Ghana is joined top of Group E with 4 points from 2 games following a 3-0 win over Madagascar and a 1-0 draw with the Central African Republic in June last year.
What needs to be done is being done. And that's why I've never really liked the term a part-time coach of a national team. There's nothing like a part-time coach of a national team. Coaching is done because it's not only when you see the coach on the field doing formation of the future or coaching players that the work is being done. A lot of work at the national team level, you don't get the players day to day. So a lot of the work is done mentally. And so the coaches call the players, they feed them the style of play, the formation, a lot of things before they even arrive. And then they have 2 or 3 days just to look at things and then shaping up things for the match itself. You don't have like a club side. So a lot of work is being done even as we speak.
You heard General Secretary of the Ghana Football Association, Prosper Harrison-Ado, speaking then, talking about Chris Houghton. He has named a 25-man squad for that AFCON double-header qualifier against Angola. Joseph Paintil, Patrick Pozo, Majid Ashemeru, Edmond Ado, Ransford Yeboah, Konigsdorfer, and Joseph Wallacott, who missed the World Cup, make a return to the team. Now, the Black Stars will host the Palancas Negras at the Baba Yara Stadium on Thursday, March 23, before traveling to Luanda on March 27 for the reverse fixture. Now, for the goalkeepers, Atizigi also makes a return to the team. If you look at the defenders in the mix, Patrick Pozo is the only new name in the mix. Joseph Edu keeps his place. Majid Ashimeru also is in the mix as well. So that's the Black Stars 25-man squad has been named. So interesting squad there. Let's move on to some other stuff. And there's some Ghana Premier League action this weekend. On Saturday, there's Bibiani Gold Stars taking on Accra Hearts of Oak. On Sunday, there's Aduana Stars versus Mediama. There's Brecum Chelsea versus Legon City. There's also Kotoku Royals versus Bechem United. And Real Tamale United taking on Tamale City. So that's a derby. And then there's a Monday game to close out the game week with Accra Lions taking on Dreams FC. So that's what it's looking like in the Ghana Premier League. If you get to the Premier League itself, March week 27, on Saturday, there's AFC Bournemouth versus Liverpool. That's our early kickoff game. There's Everton versus Brentford, Leeds versus Brighton, Leicester versus Chelsea. Tottenham will be up against Nottingham Forest. And then there's Crystal Palace also taking on Manchester City on Sunday. There's Fulham versus Arsenal, Manchester United versus Southampton, West Ham versus Aston Villa, and then Newcastle will be up against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Let's do some boxing. And former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey is positive that the plans of the Ghana Boxing Federation to nurture world-class boxers will be successful. Now, 20 bouts were held at the Bukom Boxing Arena on Independence Day to shape up the national amateur boxing team for upcoming assignments. Here's Clottey speaking to City Sports at the Independence Day Boxing Rumble.
Well, it's good to be here because I don't know most of the amateur boxers, so I would love to see how they fight because it's good for me to see how they fight because of the future. But I can't say it's heading to the right direction. for now we're trying, and I'm sure that it's gonna get there. But it's not that. It's not that yet, because if you compare amateur boxers in US and here, it's way different, because US is more serious. But I think we can get there.
Former IBF welterweight champion Joshua Clottey speaking there. Let's do some NBA before we go. Interesting games last night. The Golden State Warriors, they were up against the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Memphis Grizzlies and the Warriors have a little rivalry brewing from last season's playoffs. Draymond Green and Dillon Brooks were going at it. In the end, it was the Grizzlies that dominated the Warriors 131-110 to win that game. The Hornets won on the road against the Pistons. The Pacers were up against the Houston Rockets. That game was won in overtime by the Pacers. And then you look at some of the other games. The Knicks, they lost to the Sacramento Kings, and Sacramento look like they are back. They will be back in the playoffs very soon. They are second seed in the Western Conference. They won at home. And then Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks also had too much for the Brooklyn Nets. That's how it broke down in the NBA last night. That's all for this morning's edition of Kickoff. My name is Benjamin Nketiah. There's more sports at citysportsonline.com.
Trust the process. The biggest things often start small. No matter where you are now, the most important decision you will make today is knowing where you'll be tomorrow. All you have to do is take the next step, believe in your journey, and go with passion. Because when you go with passion, you go big. You explore the possibilities. You create the tomorrow of your dreams. So come along and let's go big with our passion. Apply for a loan now and power your ambitions. Get plugged in. Let's go big. Powered by Lesieho.
Extra, extra, let me tell you all about it.
Hey, Dolomistic. You and this your extra thing. I beg, tell me about it.
Abenquine, look, extra is what you and your car get when you switch to Shell Fuel Save. Extra protection, extra clean, and extra savings. You get it?
Tell me extra.
Shell Fuel Save is designed to improve engine efficiency instantly, and with triple action formula that helps protect your engine from wear, corrosion, and deposit, so you get extra kilometers out of your drive.
Sir, and you're not extra, good for your engine. Extra, good for your pocket.
Extra kilometers goes a long way. Switch to Shell Fuel Save today. Go well.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CityCBS.
One gunner, pit. Just one gunner.
Yo, bro, I beg, make you give me correct shock absorber. Or make a do video concept, then take the Gaussian P for the engine show you.
Hey, yawa humache. Every morning you the tear calls, they browse. Actually, something they.
Hey, Tago, the way town make hot. I grow best one if you no po. If it be you where you get Vodafone one Ghana promo them out 20 minutes talk time to call all networks. Where you start get data and 1 gig from 5 a.m. to 11:59 a.m. Bye. Anka you go do pass me safe, Ankasa. You dial *530#. Make we enjoy. You go fit subscribe as many times as you want.
Yes, plantain.
Yo, sweet Ama, take this by Vodafone one Ghana bundle. Moku vibe plus video calls and taste. You catch the vibe. Early morning, 5 a.m. sharp.
Vodafone, further together.
Comfort, durability, finishing, quality. Choosing sofas and beds for your home, office, or hotel couldn't be easier with an exclusive range of sofas and beds in various designs and colors from Latex Foam. There is so much choice, whatever your budget. Latex Foam, your partner for life.
There are moments in life when you're just so scared and you feel like just giving up. Oh, but Dino Milk is saying, we know that you can do it. Believe in yourself and then go for it. Go for it. Nourishment, that is your Dino Milk. Oh.
Choose nourishment. Choose Dino Milk Whole Cow, your nutritious instant powdered milk.
Dano Milk. Go for it.
This advert is FDA approved.
Are you looking for a property to buy, rent, or invest in a prime area? You can own one of the limited 3-bedroom apartments in Sakumono Estates for an incredible haircut-free half price of $50,000. Yes, $50,000. We also deal in original Japan Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit This Way Property Investment at Sakumono near the Celebrity Golf Course. Call us or send us a WhatsApp to 0200 535 515. That is 0200 535.
Yesterday was a very, very, very special day in the life of one of the key members of the journalism fraternity.
I see.
And also the legal fraternity. A fine brain, a fine gentleman, a man who is religious to the core, a man with principles, a man who is, despite all of that, very, very humble and a brother man at that. Showed up for me on many occasions. And this morning, let me celebrate a brother, a colleague, a friend, Samson Ladi Anyenini of Joy FM. You have been an inspiration to many, many, many in this profession of ours. And you have done so many things that have contributed to the progress of our country. And as I said somewhere else yesterday, may God continue to bless you and yours. And then also ensure that you are kept with us for as long as possible so that you will be one who continues to be in service of our republic so that we can build a better Ghana and a better republic for the benefit of all of us and generations after us.
Now imagine waking up to the shocking realization that a part of your precious hair has been cut off. It's even more frustrating when you've been patiently growing your strands to get in on the latest fashion trends. Introducing the iVest account from Easyway Savings and Loans. iVest is a fixed-term investment account that delivers great returns on your investment over a short period of time with no haircut. Open an iVest account today with a minimum of 5,000 cedis and watch your money grow. What are you waiting for? Call Easyway Savings and Loans now on 0550-144-144 or visit easyway.com.gh for more info. Easyway. Yeah, so get in touch with them on easyway.com.gh. iVest, no haircut. iVest, excellent returns guaranteed. And for those who love their Coke, it's a good thing. If you like Coca-Cola, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, I'm telling you. Yeah, especially with the fantastic. Now you can get your favorite 300 ml Coke plastic bottle at 5 cedis or Coke Zero Fanta
as a lineup for
Sprite at 4 cedis. And for those who like it large, you can get your 1.5 liter plastic Coke at 20 cedis and this 1.5 liter Coke Zero Fanta and Sprite at 18 cedis to share with family and friends. Is it me or you know that the big Coke tastes different from the small?
Yeah. The 1 liter.
You know, the 1.5 it tastes different.
Me, what is being me is the Make It Ghana that Aloski has taken personal this morning. Hey,
why was that?
Better stand up.
No, I want to wish a friend of mine.
No, wait. We'll get to that one. Stand up. Turn around. 12.
I want to wish a friend of mine.
Stand up.
Let's take it one by one.
No, you should do as a 360.
I want to wish my friend Atu Texan a happy birthday.
Oh, you mean Prof?
No, Atu Texan. Family of choice. I didn't know if this is a choice. He used to be a choice FM.
University of Ghana Atu.
Yes, Atu Texan. No, there are many Atu Texans, but this one he knows himself. He's a big man. He says all he wants is Richie's guys' laughter.
Sky, you're a problem.
Happy birthday, my brother. Somebody is filing an injunction to explain me.
We've been managing Galamsey with each other.
Yeah, it'll be very important.
When I get Galamsey at Trugi, I get Trugi. My partner in Galamsey. And then I want to add my voice to Michael Ogbodu. Today is his birthday.
Michael's birthday. Happy birthday.
No, he's a great guy. He's Ghana's answer to Richard's quest.
He served up some decent watching this morning.
Michael is correct.
Yeah. With some green leaves on top.
No, he's a
I participated fully.
And he folded his,
sleeves.
Yes. With his braces, what we used to wear in the early 2000s.
So what I'm wearing is the guy's
Shall you stand up? It's a Facebook live.
The guy says his brand is called Roots. But I want to change it to Aloski. Yes, I want to take possession of the brand.
Aloski.
Made in Ghana. Sold in Ghana. Designed in Ghana.
You look like
worn in Ghana. Yeah.
But you look like you are just catching a flight to attend Xi Jinping's inauguration today.
You know, I've been learning the Asian way. You know, the whole discussion about education and all those, and the dressing too. I like it.
but you like this Chinese. You don't like the Korean one. The Korean one, the North Korean one. The Chinese is big. Wow.
No, this one is China.
But this one,
you know, it's called South Cooperation.
Yeah, you see, but we all understand the problems with the economy.
Yes.
This one would not.
No. It was. I didn't even pay for it. Actually, I'll tell you how I got it.
Okay.
Pastor Mauli Benson, who is a friend of mine. Pastor Mauli Benson is the administrative pastor at Cedar Mountain.
Yes, Cedar Mountain.
He asked his designer to bring me 2.
Oh, he just
as his contribution to the recovery of Aloski.
So
he brought me 2.
Pastor Mauli.
He's been contributing
of Glofet.
Yes, Mauli Benson. I have beef with him.
Talk to me.
He's been contributing to a lot of things.
That's right.
But he doesn't contribute to a lot of artists. Why is Mauli Chikata, his brother?
At least as they give you 2, they will say, oh,
no, this one.
You Sky, girlfriend, and Nathan.
They call him mother side, father side. You are on the father side.
I saw him holding the oil as Director Wengam was being blessed by our good friend from Tanzania.
In charge of operations.
Yes, he was holding the oil. I said, yeah.
Pastor Ben, he big man.
Big man. No, Pastor Benson.
So it's called mother side, father side.
Thank you. But
it is really nice.
Yeah, very, very, very beautiful. So, Pastor Benson, you know what to do. You know, we have Nathan here. We have Godfred here.
Luckily to have
not that I'm asking, but if you are so minded, you know what to do.
You are a lawyer in good standing. There's something called soliciting that is prohibited by the law, by the articles of your incorporation. So to come and sit on the radio and be soliciting, I mean, it's not good.
I'll ask you.
You have to be so guided. You have to be so guided.
But it needs to be said that
you can't come already and be soliciting. It's completely against both your legal profession and your journalistic ethos.
Oh, please, we are coming.
And I'm going to make a formal report to the CG.
What we are offended by at this moment is how you and Mauli Chikata.
Yes.
These days, they are sharing the team on the side, for that side. That is what is worrying us. But it is no problem.
Yeah, but Pastor Mauli, we thank you so much.
No, but I wanted to say something as well.
Yes.
You know, there's a leadership lesson I learned from Eric Ten Hag.
Okay.
And I'll explain the leadership lesson. He took the same team to play a game and lost 7-0.
Yes.
He decided that he wasn't going to change the team. So he brought the same people from 4-1 to upper 6. Everybody. And he says, go and purge yourself of this disgrace.
Yes.
And they did it.
Did you see the first goal?
Rashford
hit it with anger.
And you know, yesterday I said to myself, this is a very important leadership lesson.
Yes.
You know, a lot of coaches would have said, let's change the team. Let's bring in the substitutes. Let's try and say that these guys have done it. He says, no. I don't think you guys are as bad as I saw in the 7-0. So go and redeem yourself. And they did.
According to the inside story, they spent Monday morning in the video analysis
watching
room.
The game.
No, not watching the game. Watching Liverpool players celebrate. He let the players watch it.
Announce it tomorrow.
And he asked them, nobody should talk. Watch it in silence.
Then go and play Real Betis.
Next time.
No, I think it was good. Because, you know, yesterday, I'm not a Man U fan, but these days I'm interested in their situation. So I looked at it and said,
you put them there.
He has repeated the same thing. He's very good. But, you know, as they started playing, I said, no, this coach, he knows something we don't know.
Yesterday, my daughter upset me.
What did she do?
I'm minding my business. Then this person comes and says, did you watch Manchester United versus Liverpool? Like, it is Thursday. Why are you asking me today?
Because it is being discussed in a school.
Why are you asking me today about Manchester United and Liverpool?
All the children, they will never forget it for the next 70 years. In fact, there's a day coming, she'll say, you know, when I was 7 years old, many years ago, my daddy was sitting there, he couldn't eat his food because his arch rivals had beaten them 7. He will never forget.
But I do agree with you. It's an important lesson. I think all week Ten Hag had been hitting on the fact that the players needed to purge themselves of that. And if he hadn't gotten a response from them yesterday, then it would mean there was a problem.
And they've been fortified after taking 7-up.
Oh.
I also want to wish. No, I'm taking it slowly. I'm not here to discuss football. I just.
Oh, no problem.
Just wanted to
Friday.
One of our Liverpool guys is called Godfrey Kofi Amo, aka Chino.
Yeah.
Chino.
He's a member of the Liverpool group. He's a main man. Yeah, I want to wish him a happy birthday.
And then also
happy birthday.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Chino. Yes,
You know Chino, right?
Chino.
Yeah, he's a Liverpool fan.
Let me plug into the wishes and wish to Mr. George Wilson Kingston and the wife, Mrs. Regina Ajua Enim Wilson Kingston. A happy 16th marriage anniversary.
Wonderful.
Now, Mr. Wilson Kingston is the head of production at HSTV and the managing editor at GhanaNewsOnline.com.gh. He's also a member of the Parliamentary Press Corps, former executive of that group. And today they are celebrating 16 years.
Is this guy still the chairman of the Parliamentary Press Corps?
Who is that? Edwin Arthur.
Yeah.
No. Edwin Arthur has moved on. Now he's a barrister at law.
He chopped that post first.
He's a barrister at law. He chopped him. Now he's moved on.
Since we're talking, we're talking about.
But the leadership thing, I wanted to make a quick
on the thing.
Could it well be that Betis were not of any serious resistance or value?
That's a good question. Actually, I feel like they may, when you go down 7-0, we need like 3 games to be sure that you are not in a slump. So they have crossed the first barrier. They have another game this weekend.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yes.
By the 3rd game, we'll know.
Yes.
So it's a good question you ask, because maybe it was just the bouncing back. Mere fluke.
Says the man whose team won his first game in 13 or so on Thursday.
Charlie, I need you to touch base with the guys.
Yes. We'll do that.
We're going there.
Yesterday they went
to Maha.
9-hour drive, 8 hours 34 minutes from.
Hey, I'm even tired for them.
No, it's not that bad. From Sunyai through to the Bono to the Hafo region.
8 hours 34 minutes.
Yes, and they passed.
That's more than how much sleep I get.
They went all the way through the Western North. Went through the Western region, Ayamfuri. They went through. In fact, they passed parts of Central region, and then went through Takwa, and went through Eziama.
Oh, okay.
Got through Axim, and then ended up at Atuabo. A real geography lesson there. So I'm sure they will tell us what they experienced on the.
And it's a beautiful place I hear.
Okay, let's just get a feel of their trip to Maha and related matters.
You haven't been to Western North, have you?
No. Well, not that part.
I hear there are some very good footballers there. You should be going there.
I have a lot of footballers
from somebody who is
Western North. I have a lot of footballers from Western North. Sidof Asante comes from.
You should go there.
You
should go there.
Oh yes.
Because for somebody of your stature not being to Western North, it's not good.
I have a scout there.
Oh really?
Okay. I delegate.
Okay.
No problem.
I have a resident scout.
Okay. It means you know.
You know your stuff. All right. Let's listen to Maha flavor. We'll be back.
Citi TV's Heritage Caravan has finally arrived at the Maha Resort here in the Western region after we took off from the Bono region, specifically Uzbek Hotel in Sunyani, where we were given one of the best treats ever. When we arrived almost at 10 p.m. at the Maha Resort, we were welcomed, freshened up later, and then had a good dinner. The dinner actually transitioned from the day 6 of the Heritage Caravan into the day 7, meaning basically that the caravanites were enjoying themselves till dawn. And as we speak, this is Friday morning, and you can hear the music in the background where the caravanites are still jamming and dancing to their favorite music. Most importantly, the MD of TFMC TV, Samuel Atam-Mensah, has been sharing some nuggets as far as this whole program is concerned.
Tourism, for me, these are the low-hanging fruits for development, especially for least developed countries like ours, because our cultural assets that we have are rich and varied, from the buildings in terms of the castles, from the experiences in terms of the festivals, from the history. I mean, look, every aspect of tourism, we have something to show. And we are saying as Citi that there's something to say for using your money to buy tourism made in Ghana.
Some of the caravanites have also been sharing their best moments on this trip?
Well, my highlights will be that the Mole National Park, seeing an elephant in flesh, so magnificent. I was really fulfilled.
All been fun, full of excitement from day one to today. Yeah, we are going. This one, no more 1 week. We are going for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Ye fitu abadom be capital town e chini chini. Banko kumasito be goti Congress. Ye fitu abadom be capital town e chini chini. Banko kumasito be goti Congress. Ye fitu abadom be capital town.
So that was Fredo putting together that report. So they moved to Maha yesterday. 8 hours.
Yeah, it's as I say, the Heritage Caravan is not just the tourism. For me, I like the road trip. The work I do, I don't get time to travel. So for me, sitting in a bus, just looking at the places, it's fun, you know. And you know, geography is actually my favorite subject in secondary school. You know, I mean, I don't know whether it was the way it was taught, but so I like places and people.
Yeah.
You know, driving through towns that I have been hearing about, but now seeing physically. You know, particularly the Western region. The Western region is a region I never explored until Heritage Caravan. You know, so you're going through places like Bibiani. You know,
BBN.
Have you been to BBN before?
Yeah.
Have you been to Takwa before?
Yes, Takwa.
Have you been to Ayamfuri?
No, I've not been.
Have you been to Wasa Ekropon?
Wasa Ekropon, yes.
You know, those are the places that for me I enjoy on the trip.
Okay, let's get to the line. Fredo is on the line.
Oh, his duoship is there.
His duoship is there. Let's see what we can get out of him. Fred, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, my people.
Charlie,
his duoship.
He sounds big.
Duoski.
Fred, how long?
Bernardino.
You know, for those who are wondering how long you had to travel to get to Maha yesterday, can you just give us an idea how much time you spent on the road?
Well, good morning to our listeners. This whole thing is a road trip, and for that matter, to answer your question specifically, we did from Bono region, Sunyani to Maha, we did about 10 hours. We took off at exactly 9:10 a.m. from the Bono region, Hillsbeth Hotel in Sunyani, and we carried through a number of towns, villages. At a point, we had to deal with a particular mining site that is Newmont, Ghana. They actually opened their gates for us to use their premises.
Okay.
Because that was the shortest route to use. Aside that, if Newmont had not given us permission to use their premises, we would have returned on that particular stretch and then divert to a longer road, which may also not be.
Are you referring to Kenya, say, or where is this the Afro region?
Yes, that is exactly where we went.
In Kenya, say, okay.
Yes, exactly the place.
Okay.
So I don't want to believe, because we normally do intermittent stops for people to stretch themselves. That could also add up to the hours. And, you know, managing a crowd of over 150, that should be a lot. So we did at least almost 10 good hours. We got to Maha Beach Resort at exactly 10:27 when I checked my time. So that is how long it took us on that particular road trip. But I want to even say we did others that were 12 hours on the road, and it was all fun.
Wow.
But Fred, have you been to that part of town before? I know you are very strong in the Eastern Corridor. There are towns like Kenya, Sifidiem, Kukum, Goso, Nkasem, Ntontronso, and things. Have you ever been there before personally, or this was your first time?
The upper East region side was actually my first time. And moving through the mines, that one I would say I once had the opportunity to move with the Ghana Mine Workers Union when they were going on a
journalistic avatar.
Mine. So I actually did most of those roads, but I can't really recollect some of the names, knowing very well some of the village names, some of the towns. Is quite complex for me, especially because they are in the Akan language. That is when I begin to jot some of them down. So I would say I have done some of them before, but some of the routes or the routes were quite new to me entirely.
Great. So what's next? What's the plan for today?
Oh, Charlie, Nathan, we got here, like I mentioned, at 10 thereabouts. And can you imagine, we went straight to freshen up, went for dinner at 11, and that dinner actually transitioned us from the day 6 of the caravan to the day 7. Meaning from that Thursday, which was yesterday, we were, after dinner, we were dancing to a live band till 3 a.m. And those of us who really want to enjoy Maha for the very first time, also went to dress down and jump into the pool.
Hey! I see.
We got to bed around 4 to 5 a.m. And I mean, it's been interesting, refreshing, and looking at the countryside. Trust me, this is a true definition of a road trip.
Fred, Benadir, before you talk about what will happen today, I call yesterday's leg the mining leg because apart from the Newmont places you passed in Harford region, I think arguably the most endowed part of Ghana was on your route yesterday. From Awaso, which is a place where we mine, all the way to the Ayamfuri, which I've already mentioned, and then you go through the what do you call it? The Wasa Ekropong, right? And then you end up at Takwa before you make a right. So these are Western region and Western North where there's a lot of minerals. I don't know if you observe the roads. Is there anything? I mean, we know there's a lot of galamsey in those areas as well. I don't know whether the time you passed through, you were able to see anything. Don't forget, this was where there's a place where there was a big explosion as well. I think this was a year and a half ago when there was a massive explosion of some mining equipment. I don't know if it was evident on the route that this was a place with mining resources and whether you were able to talk to any people on the road as you were coming.
Bernard, it was more than evident. I say so because you would see visibly people mining right by the roadside. Illegal mining, I must put on record. You would see people still fetching this mud, putting it into their small. The chamfan is the one that normally puts on the river, but the water bodies we saw all along, I can't really describe any of them as water body compared to what I see where anytime I'm traveling to the Volta region. The Volta River you see, and even crossing what they call the White Volta, and that is, I don't want to believe if it was named White Volta because of one or two, it may have its own historical background, but I mean, you travel on these routes, if it is literally called the murky Volta, the brown Volta, everyone would totally connect. Maybe it's about time to even change the name of those river bodies. It was totally discolored, and the galamsey was still visible. We saw the people right by the roadside. It's not as though they were hiding to do what they were doing by the, on the side. Aside that, you would see again that the mining companies that probably are licensed, I choose my words carefully because you would see the large scale at which they were moving about doing their things. And some of them, like I mentioned with the Newmont Ghana, for instance, we were not allowed in. So we had to make a stop there, wait a while for the leadership to make calls to at least people we know for them to even pave way for us to go through their premises. that should tell you how serious some of these mining companies were taking probably safety or not allowing intruders into their premises. But that, as you painted, this is a mining community and poverty was just smelling on the road. I say poverty is smelling because the roads are so bad. And you ask yourself, if gold is a precious mineral and this is where it's being extracted from.
The people shouldn't live in such poverty.
Oh, my goodness. And most of the bad roads we actually endured on this whole road trip was through the mining route yesterday. The rest, like the northern parts of Ghana, even our Caravanites mentioned that, we thought anytime they mention of bad roads, it's about the north here and there. Well, we may be doing the major roads, the trunk roads once a while, but to put it clearly, if indeed we're doing major roads and we came across these bad roads at the mining site, I mean, it leaves very little to be desired.
Fred, so now that you guys are at Maha, what does today hold for you? What's going on with the Caravan today?
Today we're going to have breakfast and check out from Maha Beach Resort at 10 a.m. and then move straight to Cape Coast, where we will be going to the Kwame Nkrumah Museum to also for our Caravanites to enjoy some lessons, some history lessons as far as the very first president of the Republic of Ghana is concerned. So we'll be going to the hometown of former, what's the name? Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Yeah.
And from there, we would move to another hotel where we'll be having fun. The enthusiasm with which the Caravanites don't want to give up on even spending a peso out of what they paid is quite amazing, because they feel they want to enjoy every bit of it, no matter how tired they are. So we get to a place as at 11 or 10 when you invite them out for even jams. Yesterday at Hillbed Hotel, we danced our heart out. And the same thing applies to today. That was yesterday to today, when they actually enjoyed the night, a live band from the Navy Band here at the Maha Beach Resort. I mean, it's been interesting. It's been amazing so far. It's a road trip truly of a lifetime. And these patrons, everywhere we go, especially with the hotels, they would always acknowledge the fact that, well, the hotels have done so well. And do you know one interesting thing? The patrons would be singing Jama. They always sing Jama on the bars, playing cards. So even some bars have divided into Montessori School and Zongo Caucus, where the Zongo Caucus, you know what will transpire or what will happen in those areas on the bars. And that should tell you that these patrons are not giving up until the very last end. Yesterday, when I spoke to some of them, they mentioned that, hey, my brother, next year, it shouldn't just be a week. They want this into either be 2 weeks. But
they want 2 weeks Caravan.
They want 2 weeks Caravan.
They want 2 weeks Caravan.
I see.
It's been interesting so far.
Thank you,
see. Fred, thank you so much. And we wish you guys a safe trip to Western region and through Central region. And all of that. That was Fred, though.
Fred, I really, because of circumstances, couldn't go. I really wanted you to go this year. Because,
there
are, like, for example, you talk about football in the Western region, right? You talk about some of the teams. They are so fiercely loyal to their team in some of those parts. And they love their football from the Ahafo side all the way through the Western. You sit in Akan, you don't know that there are so many, like, you go to a stadium in those places, and the place is full. Yeah. People are. Godfrey can tell you about some of the rivalries between a team like, say, Karela and is it Bibiani? I think they said there are 3 teams in that area, right?
No, right now it's Karela and Midiama.
Karela and Midiama. So that's on the south. That's in Western.
Midiama is Takwa.
Takwa, yes.
Mm-hmm. Karela,
so they call it the Nzima Derby.
And
Karela is a Inasi.
It's in Inasi.
Yes. Takwa is such a big town. Takwa is almost like in the middle of all the mining routes.
Yeah.
So I think Takwa is probably bigger than some regional capitals. And if
very
yeah,
big place.
Tarkwa is huge, and you see massive equipment. You meet people who have been working there like experts and things. I remember I met some people at the main Gold Station who've been listening to this show for like many years. It was a really nice experience. And then of course you get to the Kwame Nkrumah in Krofu. Yeah, and then you go to
Telekubukazo.
Charlie, these people, their names, they don't miss you. So we have to call Kofibo and someone to explain. Telekubukazo.
And we are in all those communities.
Ekwe.
Yeah, those are all in the Elembele.
That's those are in Zima.
Ekwe. Yeah.
I think that's this guy's hometown.
Honorable Freddie, what's the name?
Yeah, it's from Ekwe. Yeah. And then there's Eziama.
Eziama, yes.
It's written Esiama, but it's Eziama.
Yeah, that's right, by the roadside there.
Yeah, very, very interesting places. In Yenasi and things. Wonderful. Yeah. So yeah, that was the Heritage Caravan.
Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff from Fred.
Yeah, Charlie, I want you to find a special song and play for me. Because look, this morning and today is a special day. It's a special day, and I'm declaring
Okay, let me do one which is not so special. Then do that one. So this one is to a young man. Your father sent this message to me a couple of days ago, and I sort of forgot about it. So please let me do it before Sky does the big one. This one is from his father, Fred, to his son, Josiah. Enyim Adom Fifi Athakwam. Enyim Adom Fifi Athakwam. You turn 6 today, the 10th of March. Wow. Daddy and mommy and the rest of the family wish you God's favor and mercy today. Fifi, you are marked for signs and wonders. God bless you so much. Coming in from your dad, who was my mate at the accounts department at the University of Ghana.
Wow.
Yes, and it's to his son Josiah. Enyim Fifi Ata. Now let's do the big one.
Yes. So today is a special day, and but by virtue of the authority invested in me by Bernard Kokwam, I'm declaring it a national holiday. Look, Clement Kojo Akapam.
Hey! What is his boozer name? He has a boozer name.
When you dream something.
He has a name.
No, he was sent out to speak.
He wanted to be autumn, so he met the doctor.
No, it's called a mass boy. He had a promising career to becoming a priest.
A Catholic father.
He was actually in a seminary.
Yeah.
St. Martin's Minor Seminary. And then
he was doing the lift.
And then Yaba emerged on the scene. We can walk and chew gum. We can serve God and marry.
And deny the glory of God, the kingdom of God, one fine priest would have had.
No, but he's still a man of God. He's serving in the courts.
When you are within the Catholic faith, the proper people they do something.
But the Catholics have done well. Look.
Yeah. But let me
maintain this celibacy thing. So today's Clement's birthday.
Yeah. So I want to wish him a special because
we associate ourselves.
Yeah, because he sponsored me.
In what way?
Yeah, he understands.
In the legal term.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So Clement Kojo Akapam.
Okay.
You are a rare gem of an intellectual.
Thank you.
And legal mind whose immense and impactful influences will endure. Your candor and humility.
Thank you.
Despite the impossible heights you have attained on the ladder of life. Rising from the depths of Sandama in the extreme north of the country.
Thank you.
Are both inspiring and truly exemplary.
Thank you.
May the good Lord, the Holy Mary, the Pontiff in Rome, as well as the Monsignor in Accra.
Maria Kokweto. And the Monsignor in Accra. You forgotten somebody. The Annuncio. So may Holy Mary, the Pope, the Monsignor, and the Apostolic Nuncio
continue to be the unshakable pillars that keep you in formidable health.
Too much.
And in faithful and full-time service.
Thank you.
Of our republic.
Thank you.
The whole of humanity.
Yes.
I cherish you, man.
No. But I haven't told you something about Clement.
Talk to me.
The first election I ever won in my life, he was the electoral commissioner.
Are you there? No, we have to
when I was in the university, I ran Legon GCR. He was the Legon GCR elect. In fact, he became the University of Ghana Electoral Commissioner.
Oh, I see.
The Legon Electoral Commissioner for GCR. He became the the university has an electoral commissioner. Yeah, he was the electoral commissioner.
You don't declare the thing.
And you know his great. I think a VCRAC crab.
Yeah, that's right. The respected VCRAC.
His great grand uncle.
Oh, wow.
He's also former electoral commissioner.
Charlie, no, he means that he's in the blood.
Yeah, he ran a very fair election, and I won it clean.
And I think Clement was secretary to the original constitutional review.
Yeah, no, he was part of the
the rapporteurs.
That exercise had Raymond Atuguba working with some very brilliant young minds. Papa Kowakwe, Nanateria Ocher, Oliver Bakavomawo, Clement Kojo Akapam. There are quite a lot of them. It was a very good legal exercise. So Clement, the other thing I need to say is that Clement also helped me read news. You'll be surprised. When I was at Radio Universe, he was one of the people who trained me in journalism. So he's your mentor-in-law. He's also a great guy.
Charlie, he'll come here those days, come and read the CCM.
Big man.
And then ran away to law school.
Yeah.
Charlie, and
they used to sell some bread at his grandmother's house.
He just had a bracket.
Bring the bread and eat.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
So like these days, I don't know why he's trying to grow the fro. It's grey in it.
Yeah. So we want to wish happy birthday to Clement Akapam. Great guy. If I play him a song, Nathan, play him a song.
Okay.
Play him a nice song.
We'll drop one for Clement.
Yes.
Boy, Abajoye. Boy, Usamba bo wa mo mene shidane. Abajoye. Ulamba bo wa mo mene shidane. Abajoye. Usamba bo wa mo mene shidane. Abajoye. Mabula na bo mo bono ni o kamine. Abajoye. Awusamba bo wa mo mene shidane. Abajoye. Awula na bo mo bo mene shidane. Abajoye. Awusamba bo
No. How can you play?
Clement must be wondering. No. What have I done this morning?
Neta. They be there. Oya moja tabi. I'm gonna try. If you not,
it's without malice.
No. This morning, the track of songs you are playing.
There's nice selection.
On this particular Clement song that you played, I'm actually moving emotion, demanding that you should retract the song.
I have not it's a
serious song.
I have not it's a very. If you go to a gang compound,
problem day.
No. Please also don't understand gang. I have not means they are chopping more than the owner. It's a very serious. It's a serious problem. You can't play if you're not this morning.
Charlie, it's what you say.
You get Benin and not info. Charlie, can you imagine? As we sit here, the owner they cry. No. You need songs you play them on special occasions. Yes. Okay. No, you can't play. Retract the song.
You should retract.
With the full approval.
We retract the song.
Yes.
I have not yet.
You.
Basane, Ununshami, Numorimi, Kejalebi, Gagbakana Shina, Shilaja Koni Chami, Wadani, Mikabore, somewhere more coming on my economy, Jibami, and never fake me, and it means more show Maria. Oh, baby, run over me. You're funny, Maria. Oh, what's so late?
8:51. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. And this morning on our Heritage series, we'll be talking about the evolution of Akan music. Nanato Boateng will be speaking to Dr. Amachi Boateng of the University of Ghana. Yeah, on the evolution of Akan music.
And this one is...
And just to give life to the conversation,
it's annotated.
Band,
It's annotated.
Yeah,
so there is... Yeah.
We'll be giving life to that conversation.
Yeah. I want to just do two quick things this morning. The University Student Association of Ghana, in solidarity with NUCS, is calling on the system to pay the students' loan.
Money no deal.
They say they need the money.
Money no deal.
So please pay the student loan, because I've been a student before. Charlie, if it gets to the second corner of the semester and the student loan is not in, it can affect a lot of things. It can even affect your exam grades. So we want to beg the system to pay the student loan. And I want to give a shout to another friend of mine, lawyer Miezamie Alea. Yeah, he's from that area, Teleko Bokazo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
the name is very...
Charlie, but what does Teleko Bokazo mean?
We'll have to find out.
Charlie, a town with two names.
I think
and it's near in Krofu.
Yeah, there's something about rock in there.
There's another Bokazo too there. They're many Bokazo towns, so. You know, Telebokazo.
I mean, so those who have the info, you can share with us what it means.
There's something rock, something. If
Telekubukazo, I think.
No. There's a number of Bokazo towns in that area. There's one called Telekubukazo.
Yeah.
It's near Nkroma's hometown. And then there's another Bokazo one. I'm looking for that one. Charlie, this place is confusing. It's not easy.
I remember that I will not mention the name of the young man.
Yes, Alabokazo.
Alabokazo.
So there's Telekubukazo and Alabokazo. All on the same route to the Mahade.
Yeah. I remember going there
to do. I know you did some work there.
Yeah,
some journalistic work. I remember.
Right. And you know, I met a young man.
Yeah.
In the bushes of it must be, you know, is it in Krofu or Telekubukazo? One of
that area. Yeah.
Yeah, he was cracking coconut.
Yes.
You remember that story?
Coconut cracker turned university student.
Yeah. Now he's I think he's even done his.
That was a really good story. Is that where you met him?
Yeah, that's how I was.
This is around 2010.
Yeah, thereabouts.
There was a story there about coconut cracker who I think he had qualified for university or something.
He didn't go to university.
Yeah.
And you know, came and then we did a story.
But you know, Fred who himself used to crack coconut.
Charlie.
Yeah, coconut cracking is a serious challenge. It's a very good skill. And if you don't, using the cutlass to crack coconut is a very important skill. Yeah. If you try it at home, you can cut your finger. You know?
I remember my sister tried that. My auntie was telling her, hey, because she said, hey, you I know what I'm doing. When you want my Oh, yeah. So let me just say good afternoon. Good
but where is the guy? Where is that coconut?
No, the last time we were in contact, he was in Japan.
Oh, okay. Because I think your story led to some support
for him. And you know, he finished University of Ghana and left the country.
But how do you even find such stories? You can challenge some guy today. We went to some bush to find some coconut cracker.
We're still very much in touch.
Oh, you're in touch with him?
Yeah, and he actually got something from here. You know, one of our on-air presenters eventually, you know.
Huh?
Something.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Oh, no, this might be off air.
It's classified info.
Oh, so he didn't only get the scholarship.
We got other things.
Yeah, no, I celebrate him.
Through your instrumentality.
I don't know about that.
Wow.
I see. Anyway, Coronation Insurance is giving out up to 2,000 CDs worth of fuel coupons and other amazing prizes in the Coronation More to Win promo. To participate, just buy your motor insurance using the Coronation Insurance digital platforms by dialing *789*115# or visit my.coronationinsuranceghana.com. All fuel coupons are redeemable at any Shell fuel station. T's and C's apply. You can call 0302-772-606. Now, if your health is important to you, then you need to visit Vigdank Healthcare Center. They're on the Spintex Road behind the Standard Chartered Bank. They specialize in kidney stones, hepatomegaly, hypertension, fatty liver treatments, among others. And they use 100% natural medicine in all their treatments. You can call them on 05-499-51211 or 0502-661-346. This is still the Citi Breakfast Show. And earlier we spoke to Freduo on the Heritage Caravan. The Heritage Caravan is powered by Citi TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority, with support from Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Hollard Ghana, the European Union, Malta Guinness, Ebony Condoms, Gore Company Limited, National Lottery Authority, Voltic Mineral Water, and Colgate Natural Extracts.
But so some people listening said they know we passed through Secondary Takrady today. They said they've had a major water problem for the past few weeks, so we should highlight that on the show for them today as well. So I just wanted to point that out. Bernard, he says, I'm an active listener of the Citi Breakfast Show. Can you kindly highlight the issue of water supply in the Secondary Takrady area? It's now about 2 months of initially erratic supply, and now more than a month of complete cut in water. We, the residents, are having to toil and pay scarce money to get water almost on a daily basis. This is the situation in Takrady and its environment. So we just want to make that plug. Ghana Water, I don't know whether it's related to Galamsey, whether it's a supply issue, but this listener from Takrady says they haven't had water for over a month, and that is not good enough. So we're making that plug for them this morning.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi
9 on the dot. Still listening to the Citi Breakfast Show. Sending your comments on 0549986996. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be getting into our heritage series, and we'll be talking about the evolution of Akan music. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Enjoy the best of convenience and security on AT Money. Carry out all your mobile money related transactions on the go. Send or receive cash, pay bills, move cash in and out of your bank account from anywhere at any time. Airtel Tigo Money, your most secured and trusted mobile money service.
Are
Are you a salary worker or a business owner? Do you feel left behind when it comes to your finances? Well, Citi Pay is here for you. We offer loans with low interest rates at the fastest speed. Visit our website www.citispay.com.gh and use our pre-approval calculator today. Call us on 0595 741614 or 0595 738121. Citi Pay. We leave with no one behind.
Fly Emirates first and business class and look forward to a journey that's as incredible as your destination. Start your holiday with delicious fine dining, impeccable service, and comfort that's out of this world. Sip drinks in our A380 onboard lounge on flights from Dubai and beyond. Watch a movie and drift into a restful sleep in flatbed seats. Treat yourself to Emirates first and business class. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Vodafone Business introduces too much business packages for businesses and SMEs. Yes, it be too much value. It be too much flexibility. It be too much everything so on Vodafone too much business. And the best part is you can now take your business up another level. Wow. Choose the voice, data and SMS package that suits your business size and ambitions with Vodafone too much business. That means more data for your business with the ability to roll over unused data. More SMS, more minutes for Vodafone to Vodafone calls and Vodafone to other networks, plus free calls amongst your employees, all in one mobile package. There is too much value you get on the best mobile plan in Ghana today. To sign up, SMS start to 050-777-9000 or email vodafonebusiness.gh@vodafone.com.
Vodafone, further together.
Keys. What could be simpler than a key? Who doesn't have a key? A car key, an office key, a drawer key. But there's one key that rules them all. The house key. The key to a place we call home. The key to the home where everything comes together. The key to a home that is our own. A home where we make life happen with our families and loved ones. Adoha has been working hard for over 30 years to make home ownership within reach for many. Say yes to property with Adoha. Your dream home is one call away. Your dream home is a few clicks away. Visit our Accra project, The Place, by calling 030-2789-757.
Unleashing the power of relevant radio. This is Citi 97.3.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Welcome back. We're still the Citi Breakfast Show.
By the way, there's a response to the complaint. So, there was a comment from Takoradi that they hadn't had water for 2 months. Well, the information we are getting from the Ghana Water Company is that the Ghana Water Company is not receiving adequate volumes of water into their treatment plants around the Takoradi area due to siltation from Galamsey. So long as people will not stop polluting our water bodies, water security issues will continue to be on the front burner. The machines of the Ghana Water Company at Daboase and in Chaban are in good shape, but there is not enough water to treat. So this is the response I got from my source in the company, that the problem is not the treatment plant. The problem is that they don't have enough water. They don't have enough good quality water. There's too much siltation from Galamsey. So secondly, Takoradi, it's real. The Galamsey fight is all of us our fight. If we don't deal with it, maybe on a different day we'll talk about this government's rhetoric about Galamsey and their absolute, I don't know what word to use.
Yeah.
Incompetence in dealing with Galamsey. So here we are with no water to drink because we've made Galamsey a slogan that we talk about, but we feel really. And we have people we are sending to go and beat people at Ashaiman. Yes, people are destroying our water bodies.
We are not doing anything about it.
We are not dealing with
it. Look, Fred was just telling us about how he saw people who were mining by the road.
Yeah.
In broad daylight. It wasn't like in the night.
They don't care. And we are
mining.
And now
district chief executive.
Very soon we'll start importing water.
Yeah.
And we'll still be giving speeches.
There's nothing deterring them from doing it. Absolutely not. There's no consequence.
Yeah.
So they'll do what they want to do. We say all kinds of. We've spent
politicians
money.
They won't solve it. Once they can get away with it, they won't solve it.
You see, the part that even breaks my heart is the recent. They will say, "Oh, the river is clean. The river is not clean." So but somebody said, "No, it's not true."
They'll wait and then they'll go and do some report and say the water has started regaining something.
Then you go and
the
check.
humidity levels are
then we back to square one.
Then we are here.
Charlie.
Killing ourselves. It's like you take a dagger and you
So the message to Sekendi Takoradi is that there isn't enough water to treat. So the issue of lack of water will not end today. And this is from the Ghana Water Company source that I have. So Sekendi Takoradi, buy big polytanks. That's all. Like, buy big polytank.
Collect rain.
Collect rain if you have to.
Do reverse osmosis.
Whatever it is you have to. Because
that's all you can do.
The matter there, chop hot.
That's all.
But how is groundwater situation there? Do they have groundwater, water table?
But the amount of money you need to even
sink a borehole.
Charlie, it's not. You have even in this sky. Imagine the communities. Laurentia used to live in a place called Ojuhamajin. There are lots of communities in those areas that you can't afford those things. So. And Sekendi Takoradi is supposed to be our third largest. Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi before Tamale. They don't have water. And their Galamsey is happening with reckless abandon.
Yes, upstream.
The Galamsey is happening?
The Ghana Water Company is telling us that until people stop polluting our water bodies, we will not have water to treat. And that the Takoradi 2 months water thing is not ending anytime soon.
Is Mr. Jinapawe?
I'm sure he is.
Oh, did you listen to him the last time?
Oh, but even the president spoke about Galamsey. The Galamsey there is in the speeches. Oh. The Galamsey is part of the boxes that have to be checked on the speeches. But whether on the ground is being dealt with is a different issue. So that one there are also programs going on. They have tree planting, they have land reclamation. All those things are happening. But the Galamsey is also happening concurrently. So whilst they are doing these projects, which are ostensibly reclaiming land, people are still doing the Galamsey.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah. But today is Friday, so I don't want to spoil people's weekend. So let's leave.
Let's listen to Dr. Amachi Boateng.
Let him cool our hearts.
Dr. Amachi Boateng, he's with the University of Ghana. He talks to Nana Tufo Boateng.
If you live in Takoradi, please enjoy it.
On the evolution of Akan music, and it's a conversation that it's supported by the Nshinchin band. So I like that they'll give life. Yes, they'll give life to the conversation. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Heritage Music Series. My name is Nana Tufo Boateng. What we seek to do is to bring you closer to culture, our heritage. But this particular session, we're taking you on a musical journey. We're bringing you an evolution of authentic, original Ghanaian music of Ghanaian origin, and how it has grown over the years from what we knew as palm wine high life music to burger high life, and of course to the music you and I are enjoying today. Stay with us as we take you on this wonderful journey together. On this particular episode, or in this particular session, we're looking at the evolution of Akan music, how Akan music has grown over the years, what it was then and what it has become now. We have an amazing band in the house with us, a group of fine young men who play the instruments like no other, and they've got voices that are actually cause the heavens to rejoice. They are the Inchinchim band, and they are here with us on this show. You guys are super guys. And of course, to help me take you through this journey, this wonderful journey of the evolution of Akan music, is Dr. Amache Boateng of the University of Ghana, a choral music director. And of course, he serves as a judge on a number of choral competitions within and without the country. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you.
And many thanks to you, of course, for accepting the invitation and to help us do this.
Thank you.
Great stuff.
Thank you.
So we're going straight into the conversation. We're taking you way back into time, taking you into the 1970s, where we had some authentic Ghanaian music and of course some authentic Akan music that were churned out within that particular period. We can talk of some prominent musicians from that time. So for this particular episode, I'd like for us to start with Ejakonimo. Wonderful voice, wonderful man, a poet, astute songwriter, full of wisdom, a great guitarist as well.
Yes.
Right, tell us, really what you know about Ejakonimo.
Ejakonimo represents I would say he represents the old man in the society, in the village. Yeah, so Ejakonimo is somebody who maintained the guitar, the palm wine music style. His association with the court, Ashanti King's court, also informed his music. He had a lot of wisdom in what he was doing. And like I was saying, he represented the old man in the society. So you realize that most of his works were like giving advices. And even his setup, the way in the village, people will gather around an old man to listen to advices and all those things. So when you look at his setup, he just maintained one foreign instrument, the guitar. And then the rest are mostly local, the bell, the conga, just that ensemble was enough for him to be able to send across his kind of music. So he represents a typical Ghanaian palm wine musician back in those days.
And then you most often see him in that typical traditional setting.
That's right.
Where it more or less looks like it's typical folklore.
That's right.
Right,
That's
and then prominent, like you just mentioned, amongst his instruments would be the guitar,
yes.
which of course was the only foreign instrument amongst the many instruments that were used.
That's right.
But one thing that strikes me is that he seems to, even at that time, to more of speak on his music than to really sing.
Yeah. It's more of a recitative kind of thing. So he didn't have that lyrical melodies, except for choruses that he used to sing. And this is as a result of the African style of call and response, so that at least for the choruses, he gets a lot of people to join that to depict the African way of singing. So he mostly speaks, which gives him the chance to crumple a lot of words in one phrase or something like that. So that was his style. So you could hear the language very well. If you are a Akan-speaking person, you could hear him speaking more than singing his solos, the verses, let me put it that way. But for the choruses, then it turns into the melodic line. Then that, as I said, it is to help everybody around to be able to sing as in the call and response that the African was noted for.
And then, you did mention that per his association with the King's Court, he really had great command of the Akan language. But then his music traveled beyond.
That's right. So because he tried to sell Ghana, he tried to remain authentically Ghanaian. So a lot of people wanted, around that time, high life music had become very popular. And so people wanted something authentically Ghanaian. And he was able to command that especially using the language, the Ghanaian language, the Akan language, and then with that particular instrument and then the setup that he used to accompany his music, he was able to perform on international scenes, and then his music went very far.
Right. Now, you would also notice that he wasn't really keen about rhyming. Yes. He didn't really want to put in words, string his words in a way that will sort of end in a rhyme. Was it really a particular, or really was it not popular around that time in the 70s?
I wouldn't say so, but it was because of the way he had a lot of words within his music. The speaking was more his, to speak out the melodies was one of his traits. And so it would be difficult to see whether you want to rhyme at certain phrases and all those things. So he wasn't there to achieve that kind of phrase where you sing about 14 lines and then against 15, 14, 15, 14, 15, that kind of thing. For that structure, you could get some rhymes somewhere. But for his structure, it was difficult to have phrasing in them. He only take in breath when maybe he's short of breath or something. But then he was a speaking type, not the poetic type. And he could send his messages across in that way.
Interesting. I mean, I like that. But then you'd also observe that for Jack Kunimo, he didn't really dwell more on love songs. And even if he did sing a love song, there was so much advice in there. You think he couldn't take himself away from that elder in the family to become the musician that he was?
He was a musician, yes, but every musician has messages that they send across. That is, in those days, every musician sang to tell a certain story, and he chose to take that line. He talked about, he gave advices, especially in family issues, political issues, social issues, and all those things. But he chose to remain in that branch of music. Yes.
All right, great stuff. Like I did mention to you earlier, the amazing Inchinchim Band is here with us, and they're going to give us a taste of one of Ejako Nimo's greatest hits, Nadensua.
Nadesua, Missy, Masabo. Oh, Papa, Nadesua, anyway, Tie Masabo. Oh, Doctor sent the gym. Yet, Yabotra Nekuyari. Abotra ma wahwe Obapa Nadesua, Akonobe Nadesua, Ayati ye masemo Eraba Nadesua, ye Nadesua, Iziti ye masemo Kwame Semi di nipa ni akwafu teke mami kasana minyoda. Metesa yo wa ejije nokre. Yedu ne woso. Sa. Ye ton ya warese. Efise woto na ebi beto anya mfaso. Ebi su beso mu ama nefi. Au. Sabre ne ni ayiri yo. Na wo Jesu mu ye. Eti su ne serie Eli asu sebina Neso humi mpono ambowa Obapa Nadesua Eyeti masemu Eraba Nadesua Onobe Nadesua Eyeti ye masemu
Nadin sway, ada sape mo bro. Eni jam se de sa. Eyo bia hinse mi kura meduma. Ada sape mi ni ngwasie. Eni asesa. Na se woko betu mi kwa kwani ase a. Emma baby sam say ujam net sen. No mo so akuduma ba. Eraba na de swai. Na de swai. Na de swai. City tie masemo. Akono ba na de swai. Na de swai. Na de swai. Tie masemo. Akono ba na de swai. Na de swai. Na de swai. Me city tie masemo. Yeah. Uswe na de swai. Na de swai. Na de swai. Me city tie masemo.
Absolutely beautiful. I mean, you just gotta love Jack Konimo, and of course that was a beautiful rendition by the Inchin band. I mean, from the rhythm, the melody to the content itself, absolutely wonderful stuff. And to have been doing that in the 70s, simply amazing.
Yeah. So Jack Konimo, for this particular song, he tried to advise in marriage, where he used Nadine Shua as the woman, not necessarily the Nadine Shua, but to talk to as many women as possible who might not be listening to advice in marriage. And then the consequences, that the aftermath of that behavior. And so he used this particular song to advise women who were that. And I'm sure around that time, there were a lot of women who didn't want to listen to their husbands, even when they go into the bedroom, for instance, and then you are supposed to listen, sleep on your pillow, and the pillow gives you advice and all those things. They don't take all those advices, but they come out doing something else. And so Jack Konimo drew the attention of women, especially in marriage, who were not respectable. They didn't respect their husbands. You talk one, he talks two, that kind of thing. So it was something that cut across, I think, in those days. That's why Jack Konimo decided to write on Nadine Shua.
More of like a counseling session, but yes, through music.
That's right.
Wonderful stuff, wonderful stuff. And indeed, he didn't have anything for the men in that song?
The man, I would say, in that particular song was to remain calm. Despite the behavior of the women, you don't need to maybe throw your hands or something like that. So when you listen to it, you pick your section, whatever affects you in that particular song, you pick that advice and then you go ahead. So despite the fact that it was mainly targeted for women, men could also get their advice from that particular song.
And the title of the song, Nadine Shua, for a typical Ashanti man, you would wonder where Nadine Shua is coming from.
Yeah, as I said, the name just represented a woman. Yes, it could be his wife or somebody he was associated with, and then he just decided to use that name. But let's see the name as a woman. Yes, representing women and their behaviors in marriage. And so it might not necessarily be an Ashanti name or something, but he just picked the name to send across his message that he wanted to send.
Right.
Yeah.
One person that was also prominent in the 70s is E.T. Mensah. E.T. served us some wonderful music. I particularly like him for his voice modulation when he sings. I mean, you can have him going from a deep baritone to a soft tenor or a treble within one song and during one performance. I mean, it must have been beautiful to see him do that.
Yeah, E.T. Mensah represented the, I would say, big band high life. He merged Western instruments with traditional instruments. And so in those
unlike
days,
Konimo,
who was mostly yes,
traditional
that's right, that's right. So E.T. Mensah's style was quite different, and based on E.T. Mensah's era, we had that name High Life because people, let me say that High Life, it can be defined based on either rhythm or lyrics or whatever. So it hasn't got a clear cut definition.
There's a big debate about the definition
so we
of
don't want to go there. I'll say it was just an accolade given to people who enjoyed that music at that time. So, these people are living a high life.
Okay.
And so it became high life, alive. So when you go to the dance floors, these concert halls and all those things, you see people in suits, they dressed in a certain way that depicted high life society, living in the society. And so E.T. Mensah and the rest took advantage of those things. When somebody comes to the dance floor, yours is to praise the person. That is why he sings about all for you, E.T., all for you, I'm waiting for you, that kind of thing. I did wait you, Papa, I did wait you. So you realize also that his songs are short.
Yeah.
The all for you section, few lyrics.
The instrumentation.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that he could project the big band, the brass band. He could project the guitar. He could project the other Western instruments in his music. So that was
clearly the idea was to sell the instruments more than
the lyrics. Wow. Yes, but he just had few, and if he used lyrics, it was to praise or something that would make the listener feel proud or that kind of thing. So you could see music of E.T. Mensah, Jerry Hansen, and all those people around that era had some traits like that.
Usually come with some form of dance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Western dances that go some moves.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned All For You. Let's go to Inchinchim Band and let's do All For You, and then we can look at it really what we sought to do with All For You as you've talked about. All right, Inchinchim, All For You.
I dey wait till you, mommy. I dey wait till you, papa. I dey wait till you, mommy. All for you, all for you. It's all for you, it's all for you, all for you. It's all for you, all for you. It's all for you. I dey wait till you, mommy. I dey wait till you, papa. I dey wait till you, mommy. All for you, all for you. It's all for you, all for you. It's all for you. Play! I dey wait till you, mommy. I dey wait till you, papa. I dey wait till you, mommy. All for you, all for you. It's 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 all for you. I dey wait till you, mommy.
I dey wait till you, Papa. I dey wait till you, Mommy. All for you, all for you. It's 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 all for you.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. I actually like the song so much. I mean, you can count what? Just about 4 or 5 lines in there, and then the rest is just straight. It gives you an opportunity to dance and to dance and to dance. You think E.T. was more focused on getting people to dance as against Konimo, who wanted people to listen to
yeah,
him?
Yeah. So around that time, there was another trend of music coming up. So when we get forward, we understand what E.T. Mensah was doing and how it affected subsequent years in music. So the focus was more on as I said, making the audience or those in the concert hall feel big and then dance their way out. There were several dances around that time. Some imported from the coming of the white man. Some of these dances, foxtrot and all those dances, were all used in the dance hall. So E.T. Mensah's focus was also there, and also to project the instrument. You see, there were sections that there would just be the brass playing, then the voices will come, another brass will play, then the voices will come, will be played. This was all a way of E.T. Mensah's brand. And then he also did the call and response kind of singing style in Africa, where he sings first, then the chorus also joins. So that's E.T. Mensah's brand.
Awesome, awesome. This is still the Heritage Music Series as part of our Heritage Month here on Citi TV. I have with me Dr. Benjamin Amache Boateng. He is an ethnomusicologist with the University of Ghana. And of course, the ever amazing Inchin Band is here with us. Our drinks is by kind courtesy Ramdes. And of course, our scented candles provided by Divine Citronella Candles. Stay with us as we take a break here. We'll be back with more. We're looking at the evolution of Akan music from the 1970s till now. We'll be right back.
Ago.
Welcome back. It's been interesting so far. We're looking at the evolution of Akan music from the 70s till now. This is the Heritage Music Series as part of a Heritage Month here on Citi TV. Dr. Benjamin Amache Boateng is still here with me. The amazing Inchin Band is also here. We started off with the Ejako Nimo himself. Then we heard something from E.T. Mensah, Emmanuel Tete Mensah. We now want to go into the music of one of the finest to have ever graced the musical scene here in Ghana. I'm talking about the one and only Nana Ampadu. When you hear Nana Ampadu, what comes to mind? First, straight off, what comes to mind?
The first thing that comes to mind is storytelling. Storytelling, because most of his music had lots of stories that led to advices and the rest. So Nana Ampadu, I'll say, he followed the Konimo side, but he had more instruments, incorporating more Western instruments in his music. You notice one very significant trait about Ampadu's music is the introduction of the church organ in the music, which was a later introduction into high life music, where you use just the organ and then the guitar.
Okay, so Ampedu was actually one of the people to pioneer introduction of the church organ
in music. So when you listen to music in that era, high life music in that era, you can hear the church organ also playing a very vital, giving the chords some foundation.
Different progression, as if you want to compare that to, say, Konimo.
Yes. So he had a stronger, would I say stronger? No, a heavier foundation than Konimo. Konimo's own was just a light guitar, but Ampedu incorporated some organ sounds and everything in his music. And as I said, he also played like the old man who was always advising people. And one of the things about Ampedu was that he was very metaphorical. He can even talk about animals, not referring to women or something. He has a song of a man, you say, Oba, where he likened all the animals. He mentioned about 7 animals, and then likened them, their behavior to some women, the character. That's right. Yes, but one of the songs that I like about Ampedu is the Obra song. The Obra song, which for so many years was the signature tune of
Akan Drama.
Yeah, yes. I think that the message in that song was very, very authentic, and authentically it suited our situation, so that everybody needed to hear that particular song.
We'll get into the story of Obra by Nana Ampedu and the meaning thereof. But of course, if we have in Chinchin here, why not? Treat us to Obra by Nana Ampedu.
Baby, I just saw no around. Opera, anywhere. The opera, no one. They get to my medio. Now me home, brave side. They are playing the war. Now me, I might give you so. Let me so. Send up in your way. I said, I'll be ready. Only bunny, I'll be ready. Opera, anywhere. Opera, run boy, opera, anywhere. When you mark or can send me, and it's super one into a piece of no be running warabu, be a baby, opera, anywhere, opera.
It's very interesting because back then, so many people knew the song, but did not even know who Nana Mpedu is, because when you hear the song, you think about Akan drama. Yes. And so you think it's a music score for the television series instead of someone's actual music.
That's right. It's very true, because I say that the Akan drama also made that song more popular also. Yeah. So it's two ways. Nana Mpedu made the song, composed the song, and then the Akan drama series also took it to be their signature tune. But for the Akan drama, I think that they just played a portion of the song without playing the full song, and then thereby missing out on some of the important messages in that particular song. Of course, what they were performing in those days was about life, things about life, so that instead of listening to the song in full, you rather watch it, a drama, and then you get a story.
But then Obra introducing the drama gives you an idea of what to expect. That's right. Right. Now, I noticed a particular style with Obra. Once it opens, the singing begins. You don't hear the instrumentation go on for a while before the singing starts. Was it popular then, this particular style?
Yes. Around that time, the focus was not really, after E.T. Mensah's time, where he wanted people to dance to music, so you get the interludes and instrumentations beginning the whole music. And Mpedu's time was more of listen to the message. So once it opens, then the message starts, and you realize that this song doesn't even have a lot of interludes, musical interludes or instrumental interludes in the music. Once it starts, it goes on till the end. So the message in that song to Mpedu was more important than the dancing aspect. He didn't want to let people dance too much to the music, rather than sitting down to listen to the advice that is found in the song.
There's usually a contest between making evergreen music and just danceable music that will fade out in no time at all. But you see, we've done Mpedu, we've done Konimo, we've done E.T. E.T. sought to do more danceable music, but it did not fade. So does this really defeat the notion then that danceable music will just fade and music that had advice as content was more evergreen?
No, E.T. Mensah was a certain bridge in music history in Ghana. So, of course, people always refer to him when they are talking about high life music. He's one of the people that you can't talk about high life music without referring to E.T. Mensah. So this is not to say that when you do dance music, it doesn't really last. There are dance musics which have lasted and they've stood the test of time all these years. And so this is not to say, but Mpedu had a focus to let you sit down and listen to the advice that he had to offer onto you. And you listen to the particular song that the band played, it tells you that it is not math that we become elders. When you're a young person and your parents are giving you money and all those things, you think, oh, I also want to be like that so that I can regulate my own cash funds and all those things. But they don't know that before you get there are things that you have to go through. It's not easy to be an adult, honestly. Yeah. And that's
we have our own phrase for that now. Yes. And if you ask in Chinchin, they can tell you. There's a song actually to it that says, adulthood, scam.
Yes. Of course, it's true. The young ones will think that, oh, Charlie, this man is enjoying. He has his car. He has this and that, a good job and all those things. But before
all the flashy lifestyle.
That's right.
And you want to do same, but then you have no idea what it took the person to get to.
So that's the core message of this particular
Obra song by Nana Mpedu. We want to enjoy CK Man, but there's a gentleman who was there. I mean, he was part of the process. He's performed on various stages this particular song. And so we're going to have him join the band. And then whilst we do this song together, we'll get to, the cooking process. Okay. And of course, the time that we had to show it to the rest of the world. Right. Let me invite Nanan Kroma, an astute musician. He has performed with so many wonderful bands. He's been through the process of music making. He's seen a lot. And so he joins us with his rich knowledge. Nana, you're welcome. Good to meet you. Good to meet you. Yes, we are the vocal. Then we want to talk about CK Man.
Okay.
And of course, that big song, Maria Cheche. And I mean, knowing you and all the performances you've done with the likes of CK Man, what would be your experience that you can share with us with respect to this particular CK Man song?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I attended St. John's in second D in the 70s.
Yeah.
And we had the band, Matthew Chapter 5 band. So we used to run to Energy Estate, where CK Man was living. We go there, we're just small boys.
Right.
You know, we had just started drumming and doing so. So CK Man would call us. You know, he never went to school.
Yeah.
We just tell us, hey, I'm going to school. But I want one for school in Womber and I'm in Chile courts.
Okay.
So we started, you know, me, later Shasha Mali also joined when we left. CK's high life, I'll call it classical high life because of the chord progressions and the way he arranges his songs. And you play very danceable songs, songs that will last for years. Because even after so many years, you go to any party, you listen, they play CK Man's song. And he's one musician who's trained a lot of big artists in Ghana here. Seriously. Jiwelaka came from CK Man. Pat Thomas from CK Man. Papa Youngson from CK Man. Bessie Simons from CK Man. Kapichiri, the guy who played drums on Akoti Brofo, he was with CK Man. A lot of them. Felix Owusu, all of them.
Wow.
So we also went there, you know, to learn few things. Me like this, then I played with CK Man in 1980, I think 79, 80 there. Yeah, as a drummer.
This was way after you had left St. John's.
No, I left St. John's in 79.
Okay.
Even when I was in school, we used to run to CK Man's place. Anytime he has a problem with his drummer, he'll come to St. John's.
And then you sitting for him.
Small boy, no, then he go for me. There you go. You know, then I was a drummer at my school with David Ampofo. I think you know David.
Okay, yeah, David.
The journalist. Yeah, he was a singer.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
good
amazing.
singer. So we'll go there. So anytime he has any problem, he will call the St. John's guys.
Okay.
Then we'll go and play with him. Nice. Yeah. So after school, I played just about a month, then left and came back to Accra.
All right. Maybe we should get into that particular song and then you can walk us through, I mean, the progression in the drums and all that. All right. Inchinchim, CK Man. All right. Wow. I noticed something. I mean, if you've done something for so long, it becomes a part of you. Now, I was just looking at your movement. At a point, you were on the drums. At another point, you're on the keys.
We learned all from CK Man, seriously.
Right.
You go to him, you call him, what drums in our head? You start playing. It's a drums in and is here. Is that the only thing you can play? Because he had the people like Kapichiri, Ataboysen. They were hard drummers, And when I was in school, St. John's, I learned how to play the keyboard. We had a school band. Every year, they change our equipment. It was a Catholic school. Right. So they will come, you go to the instrument room. By then, fully air conditioned. Oh, wow. But one thing about the school band was, if you are academically not good, they will never allow you to play the band because your parents will not allow that. So go there, you learn a lot, a bit this, a bit this. That's how I learned how to play the keyboard later, the bass, all from, school, then CK Man polished it,
Right, that makes you an all-round musician.
Not all-round. I'm not good at
the horns. Okay, well, but at least you've got the keys and the bass and then the drums.
The bass, the guitar, little keyboard, just, the because, when I went to CK Man's place, I met Bessa.
Okay.
He was playing the keyboards. He was there, and Bessa. Yeah. He was there, he was teaching us little things, So that's how come.
Great stuff. Doc, I'll give you the final word on this. We're wrapping up from the 70s. And then give us your takeaway from music in the 70s.
Yeah, so to add to CK Man's calling him as a classical highlight musician, you realize that all those other songs we have played follow a certain pattern. In music, we call it the ostinato pattern, where you just have simple chords, chordal structure, 1, 3, 1, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 5, or something like that. Right. But CK Man's music had variety of chords, so it's difficult to memorize and say. If you don't learn it, you'll not be able to play that kind of music. So all in all, I think that the 70s set the trail for us. As I said, it tried to incorporate what Africans knew as community music making, like the call and response, for instance. So you realize most of the songs, somebody calls and then there's a chorus, that kind of thing. It also projected African instruments, but also at times it projected Western instruments. There was a blend of Western, fusion of Western instruments to arrive at what they had. But those people from Secondary, I think, made a great impact. Maybe because the crew sailors and all those who were coming from that area, they affected the music, and then you could see CK Man's style.
And so perhaps they lived more of what we would call the high life then.
That's right.
And you know one thing about CK Man? If you're working with him, you never stop laughing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We call him the guitarist comedian.
Right. Perhaps it's a thing with Western...
there was once...
there was once are also doing the same thing today.
Yeah, there was once where with him, then he said, Matsede Kufiaka, he was talking about Jiwalaka. He was then in Tema.
Okay, yeah.
Matsede Jiwalaka or that Tema. Since Jiwalaka also a tough. Jiwalaka is a superstar or Tema. And I'm a CK Man, I'm a Tsina, no vocabulary. I'm a CK Man, Yabadi. Not sure them super moon. That was from CK Man.
That's a good one. But thank you so much, Nathan Quao. I mean, wonderful performer, wonderful musician. Many thanks to you, Dr. Amache Boateng of the University of Ghana Music Department. Special thanks to the Inchinchim Band, the amazing Inchinchim Band. And of course, the biggest thanks goes to you who chose to spend this particular time with us here on the Heritage Month, and of course, our Heritage Music Series, bringing you the evolution of Akan music from the 1970s. My name is Nathan Quao. Make a date with us. We'll catch you again.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hey, nowadays, germs are in the air. Aren't you concerned?
Concerned about what?
About the children, of course. In times like this, they sneeze, cough, and fall ill just like that.
This is why we need to give our children and ourselves a fighting chance with the maximum protection of Dettol soap. Dettol soap not only refreshes you, but it can be used for bathing and washing hands. So keep calm. Get Dettol soap.
Dettol protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Dettol is endorsed by the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association.
This advert is FDA approved.
Enjoy the best of convenience and security on AT Money. Carry out all your mobile money related transactions on the go. Send or receive cash, pay bills, move cash in and out of your bank account from anywhere at any time. Airtel Tigo Money, your most secured and trusted mobile money service.
Hisense is best known for all your electronic appliance needs, such as television, refrigerator, chest freezer, and air conditioners. But did you know we have laser television, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphones, sound systems, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, iron, air fryer, just to mention a few. Hisense is the only electronic company in Ghana that gives you 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Visit any of our showrooms in Accra, also in Tema, Kumasi, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuasi, Sunyani, Techima, Tamale, Ahoy, Kofodia to purchase any Hisense product at the best price. Hisense means best quality, best durability, best for energy efficiency, best for affordability, best for style, and best for technology. You can always get in touch on 0302 55 0000 or go to www.hisense.com.gh. We are also available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Hisense Ghana. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Ajua, Grandma looked very peaceful. I was completely amazed when I saw her neatly presented. She looked just like she was sleeping.
You haven't seen anything yet, my brother. You should have seen the care and quality treatment they gave her at transitions. 1 man, 1 room, just like a 5-star hotel.
Wow.
And not only that, we had a dedicated person to guide the family through the funeral planning process.
Are you sure?
Of course. From picking her up to when we lowered Grandma down, everything was completely stress-free. They had all the needed funeral services, caskets, hearse, chapel, and so much more.
This one, dear, no family fights after all.
I'm so happy we made a right decision to use Transitions.
With Transitions, your loved one gets the best of care while the family enjoys a stress-free funeral planning process. Call us now on 0302 634 706. And no, did I tell you they're affordable? Transitions, the funeral people.
1xBet. Easy betting, easy winnings. 1xBet, the most reliable service to make deposits easily with high odds and numerous bonuses on the spot. Register now at 1xbet.com.gh. Use promo code BESTODDSGH to get 300% bonus up to 3,445 Ghana cedis on your first deposit. Easy to use, easy to have a chance to win. 1xBet, reliable bookmaker. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
City 97.3.
Accra.
There's still the Citi Breakfast Show. We are wrapping it up here. Richard?
Yes, thank you so much, Nathan. Before we go, let me say happy birthday to Nanaya Abebio of the University of Ghana. Today is your birthday, and we celebrate you for everything that you have gone on to do with my family and my wife in particular. So Naira and the kids and myself are celebrating you today. Nanaya Abebio.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
When did he enjoy you?
That's what we have. Anyway, that's our show. Many thanks for listening. I sat in for Bernard. You heard him. You heard Richard. You heard Godfred. Godfred Odum supported us on technical. Show produced by Caleb Koda and Fred Jabana. We are back Monday with another episode of the Citi Breakfast Show. But Hawa is here.
Good morning, Nathan. Coming up, humor.